fucking nerds who wants a shot at the champ.
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The Moneyline.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. What is up, everybody? It's the Halloween episode of the show. I'm AJO, joined by my guy, Officer Finch, in the house. And he's got some serious takes. He's ready to arrest some of these haters out here. What's going on, Finch Meister?
I am ready to arrest some of these fucking haters. Have you guys heard what Chael Sonnen, what fucking Anthony Smith, what, you know, there's one more I'm going to pull up. These fucking guys are, how dare they dunk? How dare they dunk on Tom Aspinall after that fucking fight? I'm going to read them off right now. Really quick, let me address it, okay? This is Grandpa's 1960s Cook County Sheriff's Police. You guys see the Cook County Sheriff's Police? Cook County Sheriff's Police motorcycle jacket. This is how they used to hold Chicago down. Okay, it's how you used to hold it down in the 60s, still going strong in 2025. Let's go, AJ.
Let's go. Listen, we're talking UFC 321. There's a lot to say. Finch, man, this is his recap to it. He's got some nice takes that we're going to listen to. And then, of course, we're doing picks for this weekend. So buckle in your fucking seatbelts. It's the Halloween episode. Trick or fucking treat. Mike Finch, let's talk 321. Tell me what's up with the main event. You got some people to track down and put warrants out on.
You could tell by the voice, okay? Tom Aspinall said, I got poked in the eye and I can't see. Well, if you got poked in the eye and you're injured, that's a different conversation. But if you got poked in the eye and you can't see, generally in our sport, we fight through it. Chael Sonnen is going to dunk on the heavyweight champion after a double eye poke knuckle deep. How about the time where you curled up in a ball when John Jones was fucking TKOing you? How about the time you quit against Paulo Filo? I mean, do we have to go through the fucking list? How about the sports psychologist you hired, okay, to stop quitting in the second round in your fights? Chael, where's your fucking belt before you dunk on the champ? Chael, here's another non-champ, Anthony Smith. Chael made a poetic point. You have to be used to or willing to fight with one eye. I did it in Singapore. Where's TJ Dillashaw when you need him, AJ? What the fuck are these guys?
You're holding it down for him.
How dare these
Mike
boys
Dillashaw
come at the champ?
It's a disrespect. It's a disrespect. We got blood taxes dropping a dono. Blood taxes. Listen, let's fucking go. Let's go.
Let's go. Your tax money's going to me, okay? I'm arresting the bad guys and taking the tax money. Thank you, blood.
Listen, I'm evading the taxes and running an illegal racketeering. You know what I'm saying?
I've got AJ's address, okay? Don't worry about it, guys.
You're in trouble, guys. I'm going to be arrested from the Finch for mob-like activities after today's Halloween episode, all right? Thank you for the fucking
AJ is. He the 3 blind mice? What the fuck am I looking at here? What do I...
I'm the real Don Corleone, all right? I'm the real Tony Soprano in his prime. You understand? Before he lost his swagger.
Massive Tony Soprano fan, by the way.
I feel like $1 million, you know?
Massive.
We got the cop and we got the criminal all in one show. This is perfect.
You know, good guy, bad guy. All right. Chael and DC, you're out of a job.
Nah, that's good guy, fat guy.
Yo, first off, Chael's supposed to be the bad guy, but Chael's not the fat one, so that don't work.
Well, he's turned into a corporate shill.
Damn. Are we gonna go hard on Chael tonight? Is this the night where we just rip Chael apart?
Let me tell you something. My thoughts on it.
Please.
Dana White was pissed off in the post-fight. It was very much a narrative of, yeah, he didn't want to fight anymore. There was zero empathy towards a bad eye gouge. How I look at it is he's going knuckles deep in the eyes of Tom Aspinall is Cyril. Cyril's going deeper with his fingers in Aspinall's eyes than he is with his lady back home. You understand what I'm saying? And we're going to say that this is something that he can come back from. The guy can't fucking see a thing. He might be the real blind mice, bro. Give him a fucking stick. How's he going to fight? Yeah, he got hit with some punches in the face. Tom Aspinall was fighting the best striker he's ever faced off with, a legit Muay Thai fighter. Listen, Ciryl Gane was undefeated in Muay Thai before heading into MMA. He's a dangerous striker. And let me tell you also, people are shitting on Aspinall's wrestling. The reason Gane was able to stop that takedown attempt so easy is he fucking clawed the eyes for the first time. Aspinall was badly poked. Listen, Jim Miller's got the most UFC fights, period. And his take, it's all intentional. He said you can close it, you can open it. And this is an eye gouge.
You know what?
Let me tell you, it's true.
Yep.
And let me say one thing.
Please.
I like Ciryl Gane's style, Mike Finch, and I like Ciryl Gane. But he's involved with Fernand Lopez. Fernand's a shady character. And let me tell you this. You look at a lot of Ciryl Gane's fights. He's a back-of-the-head hitter. Look at what he did to Tuivasa. Look at what he did to Junior Dos Santos. Look at what he did to Spivak. He's always hammer fist in the back of the head. He bends the rules. So to say that Ciryl Gane wouldn't let out a little poke, maybe playing it off, you put the hands up, maybe it'll hit him in the face. I get what I want out of it. Aspinall wants out of the fight. Why was Ciryl Gane so pissed off? That hands open tactic got him a no contest. And the championship dream for now is dead. Did he look good? Absolutely. And let me tell you what's next. Ciryl Gane looked jacked for this fight. Best shape I've ever seen him in. He got tested 4 times by Drug Free Sport. They got a new chemist, I think, working with him. He had some acne on his chest. I think Ciryl Gane might be on steroids too. I'm gonna tell you as it is, man. The side-by-side comparisons are unreal. This guy's freakishly jacked all the time, but now he's put on muscle and he's gotten leaner. What are we doing?
That's the first I've heard that, dude. That's the first I've heard that take. I'll give you my take real quick, and then we got all these donos. We really appreciate your generosity, everybody. My take real quick. Tom Aspinall, I think, suffered from the same thing that Fedor Emelianenko suffered from. You guys are like, where's he going with this? I'll help you. Fedor Emelianenko and Tom Aspinall are great at beating heavyweights. Ciryl Gane does not fight like a heavyweight. He's super mobile on his feet. He's just as fast as Tom Aspinall. And so I think there was a certain adjustment. He hadn't fought in 14 months. He's out there against this guy who's moving fast, side to side, quick jab, straight right hand down the pipe a lot quicker than he's used to seeing it. Ciryl Gane doesn't load up on his shit. He's real smooth with it. And he fought a very technically sound fight. He kept his hips away from him, did a great job breaking the clinch the one time Tom did shoot. So there was a certain adjustment that he had to make. Ciryl Gane, definitely a tough matchup for him as far as the striking is concerned. No question about it. Was he on steroids or not? I don't know. I'm not going to accuse him, but AJ's the bad guy today. AJ, don't mind.
I don't mind. Listen, let's shout out these donors. We got Jared Nunes with 1999. Fellas, what's up? Looking sharp. LOL. Appreciate the hard work. What are you laughing at? What the hell? You think we're funny or something, Jared Nunes? Is this a joke? Thank you for the 1999.
This is a fucking joke, Jared Nunes.
What the fuck? Finch is gonna put you in the cuffs, and I'm gonna break your legs with the fucking baton. That's it.
Well, you're funny like how? It's good, fellas, right? Funny like how? Yeah, what do you mean funny? Funny like how?
What do you mean?
Like I'm a clown? You think I'm a clown, Jared Nunes?
Thank you, Jared Nunes. PDX Hoya, thank you for 1999. Blood Taxes and PDX Hoya sending that support in from Portland. Well, shout out to Portland's finest. Hopefully, you guys are doing all right over in Portland. Wait, Portland, Maine, or Portland, Washington, right? Portland, Oregon. What the fuck? Where's Portland,
dog? What do you mean,
Oregon?
Portland, Maine?
Portland, Washington. I'm thinking of
Portland,
fucking
Maine.
Seattle safe zones.
This motherfucker. I'm like, there's a Portland in Maine?
There is a Portland, Maine. Yeah, there is.
Really? Is there a Portland,
yeah.
Washington? You're tripping on that one, right?
There might be. I don't know. Let me double check.
There's clearly in Oregon. Thank you, PDX Hoya, the number 2 donor in this whole motherfucker. We got Trading Champ as the platinum double gold card. You know what I'm saying? He's got the title, but PDX Hoya is always dropping love. We really appreciate it, brother.
He's a gangster. And we got Michael Bowman, the OG of OGs with the big 50. Wow, Gane looks so much different than when he fought Jones. Is eye poke a legal defense now? Anyone who fights Jones needs an eye poke defense too. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. Listen, if you would have eye gouged John Jones, I would have said it was karma. But doing it to Tom Aspinall is bending the rules.
Happy Halloween, Mike Bowman. You know what, Mike? That brings me to a point I heard my buddy George say today, which is that when fighters have historically cheated, like AJ was talking about the back of the headshots, you bring up John Jones, Bowman, which makes a lot of sense in this context. If you've got a fighter, let's use John Jones, who pokes people in the eyes, the referees should be able to go in the back and say, if you poke him in the eye tonight, the first time I'm taking a point. The first time I'm taking a point. Up to Ciryl Gane. If you hit somebody in the back of the head tonight, since we've seen this happen in previous fights, the first time I'm taking a point. That might actually have an impact because I don't think they're penalized enough. Funny enough, on this card, there were points taken away, right? We saw that in the prelims, right? We saw people, the referees taking points. But as far as in the in this context, they rule it a no contest. So yeah, John Jones, the eye poke master himself. Is an eye poke a legal defense now? I'm arresting anybody who pokes somebody in the eye. Absolutely illegal. Thank you, Mike Bowman.
They'll be sleeping with the fucking fishes if I get old. That's it. Thank you for the 50, Michael Bowman. B-Rex, thank you for 199. Tom Aspinall is a coward.
A cage fighter. A cage fighter is a coward. A guy who goes in there and on his underwear and fights people in a cage, the best fighters in the world. That guy's a coward? God, what does that make? B-Rex, holy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for 199,
Thank
B-Rex.
you,
We disagree. We disagree. I'm excited for the rematch, though. All bullshit aside, the rematch is more compelling because I'll tell it as it is. The striking of Ciryl Gane looked fantastic.
Let's be plain honest, okay? Did you hear Dana White's pre-fight interview when he sat down with that bald dude? I'm glad I don't remember the name because I don't want to call them out. But yeah. Dana couldn't even sell this fight. The man, the myth, the legend, Dana couldn't even get me excited for Ciryl Gane versus Tom Aspinall. He's like, oh, well, you know, Tom's got to get past him. It just made no sense. You could tell Dana was thinking the narrative that he said at the post-fight press conference. He goes, yeah, people were overlooking Ciryl Gane based on the John Jones fight and the other title fight performances, the Francis Ngannou fight, right?
The Volkov fight? That was
you know what I'm saying? A lot of people had Volkov winning that fight. So here was Ciryl Gane showing his worth. It absolutely changed the narrative heading into the next fight. It might have ruined 321, but by the time we get the rematch at 325, it's going to work.
PDX Hoya, thank you for $9.99. You guys feeling Chuck Buffalo at -160? Want to slam that bet?
I know AJ's pick already. Nobody knows mine. AJ, you help him with that.
If you like Chuck Buffalo, listen, chuck that Buffalo in and do the fucking the slam. Do whatever you got to do. PDX. I got my predictions up, but I want to save it for the people that don't know. You know, he's -160. Mike Finch has got a Chuck Buffalo cup. So his answer is slam the line. Thank you for $9.99.
Thank you, PDX Hoya. We'll be on it as soon as we do these fights, buddy. We got you.
Yes, we just got to run through this. I'm hyped to see it again. I want it ASAP. You know my dream? UFC 323. To close the chapter of pay-per-view number events, we now have a triple header of championship fights. Alexandre Pantoja versus the fast-rising Joshua Van. Merab Dvalishvili, the true definition of machine, in a rematch against Russia's finest in Petr Yan. And in the main event, Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane look to right the wrong of their previous no contest, and they rematch to close out the pay-per-view era and the year of 2025. If they could turn it around there for 323 and give us like a card of the century, perfect.
I like that.
Perfect.
That's the only way to go out with the pay-per-view, right? You got to go out with a fucking banger, you know? Let's go.
Bang. I hope that it happens. It is an interesting question to be asked, though. Their next fight. A lot more people going to pick Gane. A lot of folks were pretty much against Gane for the masses. The only person I know personally that picked Ciryl Gane was my brother was picking him.
Your brother's kind of on point, bro. Does he want to start a YouTube channel? Like
he does low key picks now.
Yo, every time you quote my brother was on such and such dog. You know what I mean? He's got a low key channel. He's got almost 1,000 subs right now.
Really? Yeah. Very, very low key. You know, he posts maybe once a week, keeps it casual. That's it.
Okay. Damn. Respect.
Yeah, he's the cult hero. Okay. I think if you ask me after the first 4 minutes, Ciryl Gane should have been a -250 favorite when it ended. But fights aren't a story of 4 minutes. Fights are a story of 25.
Right.
Or, championship fights at least.
Right.
We've seen John Jones come from behind and get big wins. We've seen fighters nearly losing fights, turning around and finish. We saw the, first early portion of round 1 with Delgado and Wood. It looked like a first round knockout was looming. Wood ends up taking a close decision. So who's to say that Cyril was definitely going to wrap it up? But he looked damn good, and he won the first 4 minutes of the fight. Great start to the fight.
Yep.
I want to see him
on
run
his
it back.
bike, moving side to side, throwing straight punches. You know, he defended that takedown that Tom shot. I mean, he was definitely getting off to a fantastic start. The game plan that Fernando Lopez put together made a lot of sense here. I mean, finally, some good defensive wrestling from Cyril Gane. You know, he has beautiful striking. He's had it, but fighting to a strict game plan like that, it really was tailor-made to beat Tom Aspinall. He made Tom Aspinall look a little upright, kind of look a little slow. You know, again, my point is that Tom Aspinall's great at beating these big, slow heavyweights. He looks fucking so much faster than them. But here's a guy who's fast and athletic too, you know, and has a longer, rangier style, deeper stance. You know, there's like a little bit of Taekwondo karate in there. It's a different look for Tom. He's going to have a lot of trouble striking with Cyril Gane. Now, on the floor, I have no doubt that Tom Aspinall has major advantages, but he has to get it there. It's very compelling.
I love the rematch. As of now, I've seen Aspinall as a slight early favorite around -166 versus, you know, -400. And PDX Hoya, no, it's blood taxes. Sorry. He says $10. Keep them donos coming. Listen, let me hit the fucking sound. For the dono train.
The
Thank
train
you,
keeps a rolling.
Rolling.
And tone. Let's go, blood taxes. AJ.
Yeah.
You know, everybody was saying Volkov beat Gane. Agree with me on this one. Gane is a worse matchup for Tom than Volkov is.
Styles make the fights, completely agree. And I'll say this, Aspinall ran through Volkov, made it look easy. I'm not surprised after seeing what the Almeida fight looked like. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. I think Gane's a lot better than the Volkov fight. I think he did get injured early in that fight. I think he made some serious improvements. I think Cyril Gane put in the training camp of a lifetime for this fight. Physically, you could tell it was the best shape he's ever been in. Now, obviously, I'm calling steroids this, and that. Maybe I'm reaching, but I think that Cyril Gane at this point is truly hit his prime. And I get it a little bit, you know, for some folks, but 35 at heavyweight, that 35 sometimes is the magic number when you really figure it out. And Cyril Gane's fought the last two champions. He's fought a fuckload of contenders. He's been out there with elite competition after elite competition. He looked sharp, and Aspinall was put to the test. Now, I think that this next fight, Aspinall knows what to expect now. I think that gives Aspinall a better shot. I see that the line now is a lot closer, but I think Aspinall now is like, okay, I see what he likes to do from distance. I know what I'm dealing with now. Whereas before, maybe he really thought he would buzzsaw through Gane. Maybe he thought Gane was just going to wilt. No, Gane's not going to wilt. Gane is going to bring the thunder. Gane is not coming here to lose. He knows that, you know, this was, what's crazy is this was his last title shot, right? Title shot number 3. Well, fourth time maybe is a charm. He's getting a 4th title fight. It's crazy. Cyril Gane always.
This was his 4th, right?
Well, if you include the interim,
title,
5th. If you include the interim,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I think we do.
He's got a lot of championship experience.
He's got a lot of because you know what, he looks the part. You know, so the UFC's they're like, okay, a striker who's absolutely jacked out of his mind. Yeah, this guy could be a fucking champ for us. Let's fucking run it again. So that's the sour part, is that he didn't really go through a deep division and earn these title shots like you would have to do in other divisions. So I think that's like the, you know, that's the unfortunate aspect to this. But I think he could, you know, I think he could beat fucking Abdel Wahab. I think he could beat, so based on what I saw there, yeah, I think he could have, you know, gone back through a couple of these guys. He just didn't. He just, you know, he got gifted a couple title shots because he's talented and everybody likes to watch him fight. And he clearly was not the guy who fought John Jones. He clearly made significant improvements. That John Jones fight seemed like a mental lapse to me, which is hard to come back from. A lot of fans are accusing Tom Aspinall of having that on Saturday night. He'll have to come back against that adversity. I think Tom took a lot of notes. I think, you know, an intelligent fighter like him, an intelligent team like his will bounce back nicely from this. I'll do one more dunk. I think training with Rico Verhoeven is highly problematic. The average wisdom out there is, oh, he's training with the former best kickboxer in the world. You know, this is great for his kickboxing. AJ knows, just as well as anybody. I don't believe that professional kickboxing transitions that well to MMA. There are a lot of issues. They stand in front of each other way too much. And you saw that side-to-side movement in that 25-foot cage was not working with Tom Aspinall striking. I'm sure he did get better at kicking. As a matter of fact, his leg kicks were the one thing that was working, but that's not going to, I think, be the biggest difference maker against a Ciryl Gane. He's going to have to cut him off. He's going to have to honestly box more and not kickbox so much, not stand so upright, not have his chin up in the air and do some of the things that pro kickboxers do, to be honest. A lot of times they block and kind of stand tall. I don't think that's going to work for him. I think it's a massive mistake to fundamentally change his striking to some type of glory kickboxing style where you have big ass gloves on. Different game. The consequences are different. Those little gloves are going to get through. He's got to be ready for a mobile, quick sniper striker, not a plodding wrecking ball. He's got to make adjustments. And knowing Tom Aspinall, he probably does.
I look forward to the rematch. As far as the actual eye poke, though, you think he couldn't see, or you think that he wanted out, Mike Fan?
Of course. I think there was an aspect of this fight is not going well. I can't see very well, right? And I just got double eye poked, right? Double. Let's call it eye gouge, because poke sounds like, you remember you could poke a girl on Facebook when you're flirting with her.
Yeah.
That. Right. So it's like, no, this is like knuckle deep in the, it looked like he had his eyes closed, to be fair, but it was a pretty gnarly one. My buddy Kevin asked me today, he's like, do you think if Tom was challenging for the title that he would have stopped? And the truth is, none of us know. But I think that there's an aspect of this where Tom knows, if he collects this data and comes back in 4 months, now that he's made the walk and now that he's knocked the rust off, he'll be better for it. I think he was aware of that.
Interesting. I'm going to trust him that he couldn't see. I don't think Tom Aspinall is quitting. I think that if you can't see and now you got 4 rounds left,
right?
Really a shit situation to be in. It's not like it was a legal punch. If he was hit with a legal punch and he couldn't see, he's going to continue. He's not going to quit. If he quit off of a legal strike, then yeah, of course we'd say he's a quitter, and I'd say that's a fine narrative. But it was a bad eye gouge, and it was a competitive fight. And I think Tom Aspinall needs both eyes to beat Ciryl Gane. So it worked out, I guess, in his favor in some senses that he was the champ coming into this fight. As you can see, the UFC was not happy. Dana White was not happy. You know why they're pissed off too, though? And I think that his dad's saying something along the lines of, we're not going to sign there, or at least I don't want Tom to sign the next contract. I want him to go to boxing. Saying that, not a great thing. Getting yourself in trouble with the UFC brass and posting that on the internet for the world to see, and that
really
going viral. Yeah, I didn't like hearing that, because he's talking about the boxing money and things like that.
What the fuck?
That's not a great way to
Tom
have the
Aspinall's
UFC
an MMA fighter. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Why waste that? Come on, guys.
Well, I don't even. They want the payday, though.
Damn, really? I guess you can't poke anybody in the eyes in boxing.
I mean, you could get a thumb to the eye.
It's kind of hard, though. The padded
It's hard.
Fucking in the gym they have it connected, right?
Yeah, and I think the pro gloves now are connected, if I'm not mistaken.
So I don't know, man. I don't think it. I think that Tom Aspinall should stick with being the UFC heavyweight champion. I think it's still working for him.
Agreed. We see the rematch soon. I want to run through some of the other fights before we get into this week's picks. Looking at the co-main event, new women's strawweight was crowned Mackenzie Dern. And I think Dana White couldn't have been happier. You have a Mackenzie Dern.
Why, AJ? I don't understand.
Business. An attractive woman as a heavyweight, as a UFC champ is what they built the women's divisions off of, right? They had the Ronda Rousey lore. And I mean, women's MMA really became mainstream first with Gina Carano. If it wasn't for the lookers in MMA, nobody would have been watching. I don't think Dana White would have made it happen. This is what built women's MMA. Now, obviously, we've gotten past the point that it's not all about looks, but that's what they want, because that sells. The issue lies, though. Who does Mackenzie Dern fight next? Tatiana Suarez is coming off of a split decision win against Lemos in a fight that was pretty uneventful. outside of that, I mean, Yan Xiaonan has the loss to Jandiroba. Jessica Andrade coming off a loss to Lucindo. I think in a perfect world, Weili Zhang wins the belt up in weight and then cuts back down, and she runs it with Mackenzie Dern. I'll be real with you.
Exactly.
It's no main event, that's for sure. Dern versus any of these other ladies, but I just think it's a hard sell. Like a championship fight right now, Dern versus Suarez. No, that fight doesn't move the needle. I think that maybe, Joanna Jędrzejczyk comes out of retirement, fights Mackenzie Dern, or Rose Namajunas drops down to 115. She wants to fight Mackenzie Dern. Those are the only scenarios that I can kind of see working out. Even Rose coming off losses up, I don't care. I would still be down. Alexa Grasso, I want to go back to 115 and challenge for the title. Even though she's coming off losses, I'm down. I just don't think the current state of that top five is anybody that jumps out and says now. I think Suarez needs one more win. I think prospect like Lucindo, 2 fights ago, she lost to Lemos, but she's coming off the win in her most recent fight against Andrade. If she maybe really beats up Jillian Robertson, but I don't think she's ready for a title shot either. The division feels in a bit of a lull state. I don't want to say it's a dead division because there's active fighters there, but it's definitely a hard to market division.
Tatiana Suarez with one more win is good to go.
Yeah,
I think you got to get Tati one impressive win. She's got to show her level. I think her and Dern's a pretty good one. Obviously, the champ coming back, Weili coming back would make a lot of sense. Probably depends on the outcome as well, but maybe not, And then, like you said, Rose Namajunas versus Dern, sign me up. Thoughts on the fight? I thought it was very close. There was, there seems to be an avalanche of support for the Mackenzie Dern. Bro, they had it 4 rounds to 1. I think it's blasphemy. Like when I first watched it, I scored all first 3 rounds for Virna Jandiroba. Now I understand I could see Mackenzie Dern striking from the bottom. Mackenzie Dern did a pretty damn good job from her back. And we'll talk about bad ground and pound in a minute. Maybe AJ knows where I'm going with this. I got a fucking bone to pick. This was another one where, by the way, killed my bets. Virna Jandiroba I had Mirzakhanov, Mirzakhanov gets the KO. Virna Jandiroba fucking blew my bets. She was my dog. She got the takedowns. I said Virna Jandiroba can take Mackenzie Dern down. She's better at grappling on the fence. Those things were true. And then she just gets grounded and pounded from the bottom. Like it really, really was the difference. So, a gutsy performance by Mackenzie Dern. I'll give credit where credit's due, right? I've got a bit of the inside scoop. I know who Mackenzie Dern had out there with her. That's Jason Perillo and his wife. Those were her only 2. She had 1 coach and 1 training partner. That was it. You ever see Anderson Silva pull up to a UFC fight? He's got a group of like 25 Brazilian killers. You know what I mean? She pulls up. She's got this amateur fighter. She's got, I think, 1 kickboxing fight, no MMA fights. Like this was who she's training with. She's talking about she's got jet lag on fight week. I'm all happy to bet on Jandiroba. Sucks. So maybe
the kryptonite to Jandiroba is Mackenzie Dern.
I guess so. She could
somehow
take her down.
She doesn't fight the same.
Who does that sound like? We'll get to it. Mackenzie Dern versus Weili, Mackenzie Dern versus Tatiana Suarez, Mackenzie Dern versus Rose. Give me one of those.
Yep. Fight before was Umar Nurmagomedov, Mario Batista. Umar was tested. Old school toe hold early in the fight. A knockdown in the second round for Batista. Umar still handled. I had it 30-27 for him. What do you make of the fight? What do you make of Umar, and how do you think he fares in a rematch with Merab next year?
Yeah, he looked good. He did get knee/kicked in the face, and it looked like he could go out from that. Like had Batista just curled that heel a little bit, he caught him big. But good wrestling. The commentary was glazing him a little bit. My buddy Kevin was laughing about it today. Like, John Anik would like credit him with the jab that like didn't really land, shit like that. But, hey, they're in Saudi, Team Khabib, he's got the gym out there, legends. So, Umar looked good, man. The wrestling looked solid. He got to his game. He played his game. Was it anything unexpected? It was not, does he do different against Merab now? I don't see a reason to believe that.
That's what I was thinking too. He's very out of breath after the fight. And I'm thinking, Merab's pace is unmatched. I think the fight could look similar to the first one. I think he needs
Yep.
one more, and I think the UFC will probably get him to do another one before they set that fight up.
Yeah, good call. Good call. It's the 5-round thing. It's the Marab
Yeah.
pace thing. That's the biggest hurdle for him to overcome.
Agreed. And then the fight before. So for me, I was excited about Volkov all week. I called him the underdog lock. And in Saudi or Abu Dhabi, I'm in Saudi. What the fuck? In the Middle East, we got blessed with scoring that was not favorable towards takedowns. If you're taking down and you ain't
That's for
throwing
sure,
shots,
dude.
they don't give a fuck.
They don't give a
over there.
fuck. Unless your last name is Nurmagomedov, then it's cool.
And then they care.
Yeah. Or if it's
Volkov-
Abdel Wahab, then it's cool.
That's it. Volkov hit a nice reversal in the first round, finished strong. But my God, the takedown defense was terrible. He was taken down time and time again. It was almost comical. I'm like, is he letting him take him down at this point? It's just he couldn't stop a takedown to save his life. Even at the end of the fight, it's like, what the fuck? And Volkov's striking really didn't get going. Threw a couple of shots in round 3 in the clinch with some body knees. That's what ultimately won him the fight. I was grateful as the Volkov underdog lock side. I was happy to see it. But I was, at the end of the fight, I said, listen, I'm like, I can see the Almeida side. But my God, terrible performance from Almeida, regardless of how you scored the fight. He doesn't have ground and pound. I thought, and you said it after the Derek Lewis fight, and I'm like, oh, for sure, a key element to implement is now he's going to start working on the ground and pound. He already has the positional control.
Guys, go back and watch our show. Literally, go back and watch our show. We were fortune tellers.
But it doesn't change.
No.
I don't understand.
AJ, did I tell you that Volkov could not stop Almeida's takedowns? I'm like, he cannot stop Almeida's takedowns. That's why I got Almeida winning. That was true. Unfortunately, it doesn't fucking matter because Almeida doesn't throw anything. Bro, elbow this motherfucker in the head. What is happening? It's like I want to break my TV. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Are you aware this is mixed martial arts? Does he think he's at ADCC? Did anybody tell Jailton Almeida he's allowed to throw elbows? What the fuck am I watching? Brother, Almeida is better at a lot of things than I will ever be, okay? The 6-pack abs, for instance, you're never going to see him, okay? I'm not doing it. Maybe AJ's got it right now. No, I'm not doing it. But I tell you what, I get out, watch any of my fights when I'm 18 years old. I get on top of somebody, you are getting fucked up. I will fuck you up. I'm going to throw hard-ass ground and pound. I'm getting you out of there that round if I can. Jailton has none of that. No sense of urgency. Absolutely disgraceful. Fuck it. Cut him from the UFC if he doesn't want to fight. What is this shit? How can you have the best takedowns in the division? You're built like a Greek god. You got a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Your striking's pretty good. And you have zero killer instinct. You have zero dog in you. Do you know how many fucking bum-ass heavyweights, but if you put them in mount, have the back, you put them in neon belly, they will rain down hell on top of your head. He doesn't have some of the most basic shit I teach children at UFC gym. I'm not fucking around. I coach 12-year-olds with better ground and pound than Jailton Almeida. It's a damn disgrace.
I know. It's a travesty, bro.
Right.
Hey, shout out to KZ for the 20 months of membership. Whaley beats Verna and Dern on the same night, maybe even 2 versus 1. Not fighting because you can't see isn't quitting, and fuck Almeida. Huggin isn't fighting. KZ with some base takes, and I think he's right. Thank you, bro.
Tell me where you went wrong, Tell me where you went wrong.
No, he didn't. Bro, it was just terrible. I mean, just control, lay and pray, like just awful shit from Jailton Almeida, something that I thought would have been fixed. I really did. I thought that after the snoozer against Derek Lewis, that would be a main focus. Okay, I got to get people out of there with punches because I'm not going to submit everybody. Not the case. I don't get it. I struggle to understand because I'm a guy that picked Volkov and I was happy to see him win, obviously, but I'm not sure that if Jailton Almeida is throwing some elbows, that Volkov is surviving. I think there's a chance that Almeida could have ground and pound finished him. I don't think that it was so risky to throw anything that Volkov would have just insta-swept him. I don't
Honestly,
understand
it's the opposite. It's because he's not throwing anything. Volkov's like, should I just wrestle up? Like, this guy's not doing anything,
Weird.
There's nothing. Bro, watch a John Jones fight. John Jones is mean as fuck. When he elbows you, he wants your ancestors to feel it. Literally the opposite end of the scale is Jailton Almeida.
Doesn't make much sense to me. And PDX Hoyer with $49.99. That Almeida crash out by Finch is worth the money. Thank you, PDX, for $49.99. You savvy.
Bro.
Better than the fight was your crash out. No comparison. No comparison.
Yo, PDX, I got to start doing the lives like AJ because goddamn, watching Jailton fucking give that fight away is terrible to watch. So
yeah.
Thank you, PDX. I appreciate that.
Dude, it was fucking awful. I've never seen something so bad. It was just, I was happy on the win of Volkov's side, but I was like, wow, Jailton Almeida, what could be if he had some ground and pound? It's like, I don't get it. It's not like, I don't even think it needs to be practiced. I mean, just start swinging some shots. Start throwing something, a couple fucking slaps, for God's sake. I'll be happier than what he does.
Bro,
I don't get
up.
It doesn't make sense. I don't understand. I really don't understand.
Tell John Jones he could only slap and he would do more ground and pound work than that. Yeah, we were saying it. That's the good throwback, and that's why you're the perfect person to talk to about this, because we were saying it with the Derek Lewis fight, where I was like, bro, does he know he's allowed to elbow? Remember
doesn't seem like it. I remember.
Know it's not against the rules. You know,
I don't get it.
What the fuck? Fuck it. Like, take his money, bro. Fuck it. When you don't get your win bonus, we're talking about he missed out on like 50, 80 grand. You know what I mean? On a win bonus. Good. Fuck him. Fuck him. Look, read the goddamn rules, dude. You're allowed to ground and pound. Jailton, Jesus.
It was the worst display of ground and pound, which was non-existent I've ever seen. I don't get it. I won't get it. Jailton, I think you've heard this. Something on the live stream earlier we were talking about in chat. Herb brought it up. He's one of the OG members. He said that like 30 to 50% of people don't have an inner monologue. Maybe Jailton Almeida doesn't have a voice in his head that can tell him to throw ground and pound. I don't know. Maybe he lacks that.
He just needs me, dude, in the corner, honestly.
I guess you'll be a stock for him.
I'll just be screaming, you know? I would crash out for him. You know what I mean? He just
like when he goes back to, Brazil at the gym, they're like, let's throw some punches. Like,
they're Brazilian, right? Isn't that the history? Like, isn't that the culture? You ever meet Brazilians in real life? They're the most passionate people. You know what I mean? It's just like, where's the fire, buddy? So
I don't get it.
Needs to hang out with Vandalay more, dude.
For Jailton Almeida, he's got to be in the weirdest spot because you got a guy that can probably take down everybody right now. I mean, if I told you right now, Jailton Almeida was fighting against the likes of even a Cyril Gane, there's a chance that Jailton's getting on top and submitting him. So he still has a chance against all of these elite level guys. But then he goes out and sells the Volkov fight by not doing anything. It's something that I just really struggle to fathom. I look at the division and I think about what's next for Jailton. I have no fucking idea. I mean, Ante Delija is fighting Waldo this weekend.
Jiu-jitsu, bro.
Maybe just go to UFC BJJ. Yeah.
Fuck it. He should go do Craig Jones Invitational. Fucking peace, dude. I'm done, dude. I'm so pissed because I was telling AJ, I'm like, hey, man, Jailton's going to take him down. It's a wrap. I thought that was enough, It's not enough. It's not
enough. Not enough, man. Let's keep moving down this card. I'm sick of this fight. Azamat Murzakanov, you and I both believe that he would break Rakic, and he puts him away in the first round with a wide jab. I really think that Murzakanov is a bad motherfucker. And you know what's funny? Guru hopped into my stream throughout the week, and he said that he's going Volkov, same as me. And he's like, but do you have the IQ for Rakic in that one? And I said, I got the Murzakanov
He
side.
loves Rakic, dude.
He's a Rakic
He loves
believer.
these fucking guys. He's a huge Tom Aspinall fan. Bro, if you're a European fighter, he automatically has a little bit of love for you.
Makes sense. I like the Russian savages. Murzakanov is fucking fantastic. I feel like, I mean, you look at his record, 16-0. That's marketing right there. I want to see Murzakanov get a big fight next. Maybe a Khalil Roundtree next. maybe a Prohashka if there's, an Ulberg
about that,
fight for a title. Like, that's cool with me. I feel like Azamat Mirzakhanov needs a big matchup because he's right there on the cusp of a title fight. And I think with one more win, he's now in the running for it. I can't really imagine a world where Alex Pereira and Mirzakhanov fight. I don't know if
cool,
that will come to be, but if it was to happen, how hype would that be?
I think you got to go Pereira versus Carlos Ulberg. I love that fucking fight. Please.
Pereira Jones, bro.
Go on.
They might be doing Pereira Jones.
I'm with that because I get that, right? Legacy fight for Pereira. There's a lot more to win against John Jones than there is against Carlos Ulberg. But as far as like the styles I want to see clash, I've been picking Carlos Ulberg all the way through his UFC career, and I don't think I'll stop in a Poatan matchup either. But Ankalaev versus Mirzakhanov wouldn't be a bad idea. Jan Blachowicz, Khalil Roundtree, something like that.
There's a lot of good fights on the horizon. I'm excited for Mirzakhanov's 2026. I'm thinking of this light heavyweight division. I'm thinking of Alex Pereira, and I'm also then thinking, isn't it funny, right? How the fans will turn on somebody. John Jones is a ducker. He's terrified of Aspinall. Aspinall bails on the fight with a fucking blinded eye from an eye gouge. Now, all of a sudden, Tom Aspinall's a bitch. He's a quitter.
And John Jones went out there and capitalized. He's on his fucking X, he's posting everything. John's out there capitalizing to get some airtime. Well, it'll be short-lived, boys. I think the one silver lining here is like I think Tom Aspinall is able to level up now. I think he collected a lot of data and he'll be back soon. Like by December, that makes sense.
I like that. I look forward to that. Mirzakhanov here, sensational win. You want to quickly run through the prelims, a little rapid fire? Holy shit.
Boom, head kick. I was wrong. I had Nasrat.
Oh, I picked Nasrat as well. Who the fuck is expecting Salkill to high kick KO a Nasrat who's surging up the ranks right now?
Who's a fucking real vet, man? Hey, it's a beautiful head kick.
Amazing technique. Amazing. Salkill called for a top 15 fight next. I don't know. Mauricio Hufi, maybe, if they're going to do that.
Let's go. I actually like that matchup.
It's a cool fight. Battle of strikers, but Salkill could take his ass down. So I'm interested. And then the fight before, Aliskerov, kind of a disappointment against Park, went out and won a decision, but was tested a bit. And I had mentioned I'd like to see him go into the later stages, but I will say I gathered the evidence of Aliskerov doesn't have the best gas tank. And I think that the power is maybe a tad bit overrated. He had some big punches that he landed against lesser guys. Against Park in this one, never really had him hurt. Was able to time takedowns, was getting backed up a lot in certain moments of the fight. But still, Park couldn't stop the wrestling. Aliskerov is pretty good, but I definitely think that like initial hype on Aliskerov when he was heading into the Whitaker fight or even like UFC debut, it's like, this is a monster from Dagestan. He's coming for the top 10. I don't really think that he's that caliber. I mean, I think maybe, fight against Vittori, fight against Delidze, somebody like that. I'd be interested in watching that. I'm not confident on either side either.
Yeah, Aliskerov looked good here, man. He was able to wrestle. He was able to show us his wrestling more. We've seen a lot of his striking, and so it was good to see him wrestle Park. Have him move slowly up. It's all good. Let him get his experience in. Aliskerov was a lock here. I had him as a confident pick, and he delivers. Is exactly what I thought it would be.
The safe city parlay was Aliskerov and Nurmagomedov at -153 for me. Comes to fruition. Let's go.
Boom. Good job, AJ.
Klein Rembeshki, good fight.
Crazy.
Rembeshki absolutely fights too often. My God, give this guy a fucking break. The scar tissue is a problem. He opened up in the fight. He was getting kickboxed up and rocked throughout the first two. But on the takedown, Klein breaks his fucking ankle. Rembeshki dominated that third round. But can you imagine a world where Rembeshki realizes he gets up, fight's over, he gets a TKO?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, he should have gotten up and called him up, right? He had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, it broke so bad. It was so fucking ugly. It reminded me of Crow Cop and Gabriel Gonzaga when Crow Cop got head kicked and he fell down on his ankle and his foot was backwards. Similar angle on the foot to the knee. It was gross, guys. I hope you missed the fucking replay. They raised his hand while he's sitting on a stool. He's crying. It was beautiful. A typical, Rebecca grabbing his balls, bleeding everywhere, and fucking showing us his heart. But, Klein with the better skills in rounds 1 and 2 gets the dub. Good fight.
Good fight. Really good fight. Fight before that, El Salwadi Camilo canceled. Walker Sutherland. Walker makes it look easy. Sutherland heel hooked. My God. Nobody's stopping this fucking heel hook.
Dude, he did it from
Walker is the
top.
heavyweight we needed.
Yeah, he did it from top, and then when Sutherland knee shields, so he brings his knee and his shin is horizontal, across. All Walker had to do was just sit back. It was like a wilder heel hook too. He didn't have his feet in the perfect positions, but it doesn't matter. He pries down on that foot, catches that heel, turns that corner. Sutherland's tapping out. DC was correct on the replay. He's like, he's got to kick him in the butt and spin. He spun and didn't kick him in the butt and taps. The heavyweights heel hook defense, we should dunk on. It deserves being said. Trash, right? But the heel hooks that Walker's pulling off, you got to give credit where credit's due, bro. The guy's an animal.
I think right now Volta Walker is one of the hopes of the heavyweight division to make some waves. I'd like him to get some more wins. I love to see Volta Walker in the 20s right now break into the top 10. Definitely an interesting grappling threat. Nobody's doing the heel hooks. Him versus
You
Marshall
fight the
Brentwood.
black pepper pig. Now you fight with me.
And that brings us into Hamdi, which is the fight before, but I want to mention it now. Hamdi, they didn't re-sign him. I think he's out of the UFC now.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
You're kidding. Well, his technique is pretty ugly, but he bullies a well overweight Barnett. You know what, man? The commentary was dunking on him. I should have it written down, actually. The commentary was dunking on him, but I did not. When I don't like when the commentary is coaching the fighters, essentially telling the audience all the things the fighters are doing wrong. I'm not a fan of that at all. And AJ knows that. But in this context, in this exact situation, I think that it was warranted, man. He doesn't control the wrist. He doesn't do a lot of basics. Here, DC ripping Hamdi, lack of wrist control on the commentary. You can't let Chris Barnett up that many times. Yeah, it's he's talking about, when you go up the card, you'll start seeing far wrist control. You hear this fucking motorcycle?
I did, yeah. Holy shit.
He stole my police bike, bro. I gotta go get him. It's apparent, like his even his takedowns, bro. He's an Olympic wrestler. Is Egypt that good? Is that you? Peace, guys. I'm gonna go get him. Yeah, I think Hamdi's not fantastic, but can we really afford to lose heavyweights? Is that what we're doing?
They did it with Rosenstruik, who was much more of a contender than Hamdi. So, yes, I think the UFC doesn't give a fuck.
I just don't give a fuck. I did an Eminem karaoke, AJ.
That was pretty fun. I saw it. Yeah. I watched it. I was like, this guy's funny as hell. made the real fucking Mike Finch shady up in here.
Will the real Mike Finch please stand up? Please stand up.
Cash your fucking bets, chat. I told you guys earlier today. I said, I guarantee you Mike Finch raps on the stream tonight. Damn. I said it was a guarantee.
Unprompted.
That was great. I want to talk Delgado and Wood real quick. So Jose Delgado is a blue chip prospect. I ended up picking Nathaniel Wood after the weigh-ins. I saw that you also picked Nathaniel Wood as well. Delgado's striking is sharp, man, and he's a great prospect, but Nathaniel Wood's recovery was there. He constantly was pressing forward. Ends up dropping Delgado after getting dropped himself in round number 1. It was a close fight, pretty back and forth, tooth and nail matchup, but I think that Wood's relentless onslaught and battle of real estate winning is what won him the fight.
Yeah, dude. Delgado's 5'11". Wood is 4'11". That matters. And then Delgado is so sharp with it, bro. When he was fresh on the outside in that first round, the way he was sniping Wood, I was back and forth on this fight all week because Wood is technically sound and Wood brings some momentum into this fight. But goddamn, Delgado really showed his level, really showed his ability to move better, right? And then his timing is just brilliant. You could tell he's just in season. I like the shot selection midselections. He hurt Wood bad, had him bleeding all over the place, and then got back to being patient. A lot of good stuff from Delgado. I am impressed. AJ was on them all. You said you flipped 2?
I flipped 2, and Wood won the decision, so we won.
Fucking A.
Bro.
Delgado looked really fucking good in that first round. I think that honestly, his stock went up in my book.
Even though he lost the fight, I think it's kind of better because I don't think he was quite ready for the top 15 anyways. And that's kind of what you get. If you go out and beat Nathaniel Wood at this point, you're real close to that. I think more time to develop is needed for a guy like Delgado. He's got all the time in the world. I see comparisons to like a Yair Rodriguez in some ways for him. And I think eventually he'll crack his way into that top 15. But I think it was a little too much too soon. I still think Delgado in his next fight going to be a big favorite. I think he only gets better from this fight against Nathaniel Wood. Let's be honest, Nathaniel Wood does everything good. Like, he's just one of those guys that's good in all areas. You look at martial arts technique, you're like, that guy is just a good fighter. And I think that Delgado has a bright future still, regardless of the result.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. I thought he was going to knock him out like 3 minutes into the fight. I'm like, oh my God. But Wood's fucking tough, dude. That's another thing to say about him, bro. Homie has balls. You know, he's that guy Chael Sonnen was talking about, right? We're expected to fight through that. Oh yeah. Here, Anthony Smith, are willing to fight with one eye. I did it in Singapore. You know, and then Chael Sonnen. Generally in our sport, we fight through it. Well, here was some adversity that Wood fought through. As AJ pointed out earlier, apples and oranges, because we're talking about a foul versus just a hard fight. But Wood's got balls.
Wood's good. And then we got to talk Azat Maxim misses weight by 3 pounds, loses the decision of Mitch Raposo. What a fucking letdown Azat Maxim has ended up being, right? Came to the UFC with some hype and falling flat on his face. What'd you think of the matchup here?
Close fight, though. Like, he was taking Raposo down and controlling him a little bit. So, I don't know. Close fight. Raposo keeps getting in these kind of fights, but he's right. He's like, man, my last 3 out of 4 opponents have missed weight. Sucks, So not blown away by either of these two.
Gucci Mamba, thank you for becoming a member, big dog. I appreciate you, homie. Shout out to the boy. What a certified savage. Azat got cut, makes perfect sense. And respect to Raposo style, man. He keeps coming forward. He wants to win. He's trying to do damage. Lay and pray don't work for Azat Maxim here. And he grabbed the cage and got a point deducted.
Nobody can lay and pray in Abu Dhabi. They want blood.
No. Blood. I love it. And then first fight of the night, Mizuki Inoue, inactive as fuck, looked as sharp as she ever has, exposes Jacqueline Amarim. I know what Amarim is now. She's the type of bullying style. When she's bullying you, she's on point. But when she's tested, when adversity comes her way, she melts. And
she was tired, bro.
She was pulling guard. Come on.
She was tired.
She got ran over.
I think that, that's true about some people like Brock Lesnar, right? Fantastic hammer. Can't really be the nail.
Hey, he came back against Shane Carwin, though.
That is true. We need to respect the Shane Carwin comeback.
Mm-hmm.
That is completely fair. That is completely fair. Wow, AJ's a Brock Lesnar fan. I had no idea. Look, I
was actually a big Shane Carwin fan, bro.
Me too.
I like Shane Carwin a lot. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, Shane Carwin was just finishing everybody in the first round. Got Frank Mir up against the fence. Boom, boom, and just rocked it. I mean, Shane Carwin was terrifying.
When he destroyed Frank Mir, I was like, holy shit. Because like Frank Mir was still
who could stop this?
Heavyweights. Like, this guy's different. And he was fucking Brock Lesnar up bad. I'll be honest, most refs are stopping that fight. But they let Brock get beaten to a pulp. Shane Carwin gasses.
Yeah, Shane Carwin gassed hard. Yeah. If you ever hear Brendan Schaub, sorry if any of you have heard him talk before. I'm sorry. But Brendan Schaub talk about training with Shane Carwin. He's like, bro, Shane Carwin would dominate me in the gym. And it makes sense, Shane Carwin's a freak among freaks, but has a bad back and is like water districting. I don't know. He's got some white collar job that he's perfectly fine doing. How do we talk about that? We're talking about little girls, and we're just talking about the most massive heavyweights ever. How crazy was that matchup, though? It was Brock Lesnar, the biggest, 4XL gloves. Here comes a guy with 5XL gloves to fight him. It was like, where the fuck did they find?
Bro, that was some peak heavyweight shit, though.
Yeah,
that was peak heavyweight shit. I remember watching that fight. I was at an uncle of mine's house who passed away. Rest in peace to him. He let me buy that pay-per-view on his fucking cable, so I appreciate his generosity.
Dope, dude.
That fucking fight, holy shit. The way that Brock Lesnar came back, I was like, damn, like Brock is that motherfucker. And then, obviously, things fall apart for Brock Lesnar after that. But that was a cool moment, man. That was one of the special heavyweight fights. Heavyweight is always a special division, right? We've had the Freak Show championships. Hey, look at the guy. He says, love you, Finch.
Just giving love. Just giving love back.
100%.
And sometimes the sport does that to you. We're like, oh my God, now the heavyweight division is just going to be these freaks. And it goes through phases, right? So,
yeah.
I don't know how we got there. Bringing it back to Amarim. Amarim gassed. I think that's the story of this fight. Mizuki winning is not something I had in the cards, especially since the lack of fights. You would think it would be Mizuki, the one who's gassing out. But, hey, man, simple reminder, okay? Simple reminder to me, chill on the ladies' bets, okay? Because ladies' MMA is just, it is wilder than it looks on paper. And, note taken, man. Fucking, it's not like I gave this in premium channel or anything, but I did have a parlay on Amarim and she blew it.
Well, that's a good caveat that leads us into this week because we have some ladies fights for UFC Vegas 110. I'm ready to get into the predictions. I know Officer Finch is as well. Make sure you guys hit that like button. If you're new on the channel, hit that subscribe button too. Talita Alencar versus Hyeon Carnelossi. This is a fight that I sat on for a while. And Carnelossi, the issue with her is inactivity has plagued her UFC career. She's a terrifying beast with huge scintillating biceps. If you saw her just flex her arm, you'd think she was a fucking bodybuilder. But when you really look at it, her takedown defense is pretty mid. And Talita Alencar is an active competitor, also competed at UFC BJJ 1. I think Talita Alencar probably takes Carnelossi down and does some work with the grappling in this one. I have my doubts about Carnelossi's bottom game and her get-ups. I do think she has that kind of, reactive, spazzy bottom game where she's throwing shots. And I think that she's probably the better striker, but it's not like Carnelossi is a Stephanie Luciano who beat Alencar when they rematched. She doesn't have a sharp style. It's let me get in your face and wing some fucking bombs. It's not a high-level, crisp technique. It's brute force. But with that, it's not like Carnelossi has this reign of knockouts or anything like that. She's not like a terrifying power puncher in the UFC. Sure, if she hits you clean on the chin, it can do some damage. I just have a lot of doubts about her wrestling. We saw Lupi Godinez maul her in the wrestling. Her last fight was a disqualification win. She got front kicked in the face, badly rocked by Piero Rodriguez, and then got headbutted because Piero Rodriguez might have some fucking true anger management issues. I don't understand what that was. But I'm going to go with Alencar. She looked great against Vanessa Demopoulos last time, dominated her in all positions. I feel like she can pull off a decision win using the grappling here. What do you think, Finch?
Slight lean to Alencar, but honestly, Carnelossi could make this a fight. Alencar, the clear advantages on the ground, and Carnelossi's takedown defense not being fantastic is a big problem. But Carnelossi, I mean, you said it right. Physical specimen, is tough. She could kickbox pretty well. I can see Alencar getting caught up and getting too much of a fight with Carnelossi and paying the price with a 29-28 decision L. So slight lean to Alencar because the obvious advantage is Alencar on the ground. Alencar in top position, getting her grappling going. You could even see her getting a submission here, but Carnelossi's massive. She's got twice as many fights as Alencar. A little bit of UFC experience, although she barely ever fights. One fight in the last 2 years, but fucking didn't stop Mizuki. You know what I mean? Wow. So fuck betting on these ladies' fights. Count me out. But Alencar decision or sub.
I feel what you just said is it. I kind of feel like the count me outside. Like Carnelossi, I was tempted to go dog. I'm looking at the odds, plus 190. She can throw some heavy shots. But I got to tell you, the worry for me is Carnelossi's shit takedown defense and Alencar controlling, using her high-level jiu-jitsu. She's a lot better at jiu-jitsu. I don't care about the odds really, it's minus 225 Alencar, plus 190 Carnelossi. Probably a fight that goes a little longer. I mean, I'll obviously look for some type of prop bet to consider for propaholics, but it's one of those damn ladies fights. And, you know, Finch was just talking about it. Like, you know, betting the ladies sometimes really can bite you in the ass. It's just, I just think it's mismarked odds wise, but on the flip side, it's like, I don't want to just dog chase. Oh, well, Carnelossi's a dog. She got a puncher's chance. Let me just pick her. She does. But if she went out and lost in a grappling heavy fight, am I surprised? No, she's going to be at a clear disadvantage with wrestling and grappling. So I'll go Alencar. Same as you, Finch, on this one. It's just, you know, it's a ladies fight. Sit back. You know, a lot of you guys probably will skip this fight, but sit back, watch. Maybe it ends up being a good one. I don't think it's going to be a terrible fight. I'm interested in the matchup, but
how dare they? This ain't the WNBA. You can't just skip the ladies fights, motherfuckers. You got to pull up. Come on. Yeah, I'm just I don't have enough faith in Alencar. Like, if I'm gonna bet on a ladies fight, right? It has to be like a Kayla Harrison. It's got to be somebody who I can have a bit of confidence in the performance that I'm gonna see. You know, I did bet on Kayla Harrison versus Juliana Pena, by the way. I know she was wide, but it was a nice parlay piece. You know, it's not this.
We'll go with the Alencar decision.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Expect Carnelossi to look intimidating at weigh-ins and tempt me for a pick flip. That's what I'll say. I expect Carnelossi to come in looking freaky and me thinking, shit, she could strike with her. And, you know, she's a very popular Tapology pick. Looking at Tapology, there is 57% on Carnelossi. So she is a popular underdog for the people. Lines obviously don't reflect that because Alencar still remains at the, you know, 2-1, more than 2-1, minus 225 dog odds here.
Don't spice this up, bro. Don't make me fucking look at the odds on this, dude. Don't you
let's
dare. Fucking damn. Betting on these ladies has been stressing me out, man.
Next fight. Let's keep moving. We got Phil Rowe versus Seok Ko. I'm going with Seok Ko. Seok Ko.
What you just tell me to suck, dog? What the fuck?
Hey, listen, bro. After the Wang comment, you can't tell me nothing. The chat still mentioned that.
It's a long time ago, dog. Why are you bringing up bullshit, dude?
Seok Ko out of South Korea, bro. South Korea is in trouble right now fighting in the UFC. They be taking L's lately. The South Koreans been struggling. I think Ko's a special fighter from South Korea. Southpaw, good ability to walk fighters down, power in both hands, and a good combat sambo and judo base. I like that for him. Phil Rowe, last time out was my underdog lock. So I got love for Phil Rowe. I was celebrating when he came back against Angelosa. But my God, did he stress me out. Getting dropped in the fight, getting out wrestled. Phil Rowe is way too comfortable on his goddamn back. He's done the jiu-jitsu competitions, and he plays around from bottom. I don't like that. I don't like the lack of a get-up game. I'm going with Ko to win. I think you could potentially knock Rowe out, but I think Ko clears either KO or decision. I expect him to bring the pressure, back Phil Rowe up, and pull it off. What do you think, Finch?
Especially, you know, the dub over Oban Elliott. Yeah, I do think that it makes sense to go Ko here. Although, you know, I'm not a Phil Rowe doubter, you know. I think Phil Rowe can make this a fight. Phil Rowe, solid in the clinch, you know, jiu-jitsu game. I mean, it's not fantastic, but he does like to compete in jiu-jitsu a lot, and he does hunt when he's in the cage. He's not just stalling. Jailton Almeida. You know, Phil Rowe is live to finish a fight at any point. But I think Suck doesn't suck. You know, I feel like the Oban Elliott fight's a big deal. When I actually heard your breakdown for this one, so I'm in my car today, and I don't always listen to any pre-fight breakdowns, but when I do, it's AJ turn the fuck up in my car. Why'd I do this? I have an iPad. It's a Tesla. Turned up in my car. And AJ says that exact line. I'm at a red light, and I'm fucking sitting there, And AJ goes, he's like, the South Koreans have really been losing bad lately. The South Koreans can't win a fight. I swear to God, this dude who looks Korean as fuck right next to me, he fucking looks over at my car like, what the fuck? And I didn't turn it down or nothing, you know. I let you keep going. And then he realized you were talking about fist fights, and I think he calmed down, you know. But yeah, you pissing off the local Huntington Beach Korean population, dog. You need to chill on the South Korean hate. AJ, I think they bounce back here. Seok Ko decision.
Yeah, I think Rowe's a test. His reach is long, but the thing about Rowe, bro, every time he doesn't use it as well as he could. Guys walk him down, guys close the gap, and he'll close the gap and give up that reach advantage, and he'll want to tie up, and he'll be on his back, and he'll be looking to play on the trying to throw up submissions. What I didn't like is the lack of urgency to get ups against Angelosa last time. That pissed me off. And obviously I was celebrating huge with the round 3 finish. Losa gas, but Losa is not sucking. Losa is not going to beat Oban Elliott. So I'm rating this as a real test for Rowe. I think that Ko is a guy that could potentially make a run into the top 15, top 20. And I think Ko gets it done.
I think so. I think that makes sense. Phil Rowe, not a never going to challenge for a title. That would be shocking, know. And I think Ko's got a little bit of talent, so let's roll with him.
Let's go. Next fight on the card. Elise Ardelean versus Montserrat Conejo Ruiz. You got to be fucking kidding me. Is exactly what I thought with this fight. 4-1, Elise Ardelean. They just want me to pick Montserrat Ruiz. She's a -4. How? The thing about Montserrat Ruiz, she's a wrestler. She's a 7-time Mexican national champ. Bro, do you see the takedown she be hitting in the fights, though? She loves that headlock. It's like, it works in women's MMA sometimes.
She loves the stall in that position.
What the fuck? Yeah, it just holds it. Like, I don't know, unless she was locking girls up in scarf holds and shit and pulling off submissions, I might be thinking different, but Ruiz is inactive, and I just don't think she's all that good. And of course, her competition level has been tricky, though. Lemos, Amarim, Mara, and Amara that missed weight by 3 pounds. So it's not like she's had easy fights in the UFC. Elise Ardelean, she started off with the fill-in short notice fight against Shauna Bannon, and Bannon was lucky to walk away with the judge's decision. After that, Melissa Martinez gets the nod all over her. Good striker in Martinez. Last fight, she actually looked good against Rayani Amanda. She looked sharp.
Fight of the night.
It was a good performance. I think Ardelean's just better at striking, competent in grappling. Ruiz might have a pure wrestling advantage, but this isn't a wrestling match. And I got to say, I think Elise Ardelean probably lands more shots. I think she could potentially find a way on top. I won't be shocked if the headlock works at some point, but I'm going to say Elise Ardelean can win. But understand that the records of these ladies stand at 10-4 and 10-7. So, we're dealing with a terrible record on Ardelean's side, and Ruiz on the other side losing 3 straight fights. And she's lost, 4 out of her last 5 fights? She's lost. Well, she won 2 out of the last 6, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Albeit it was Eduardo Mora. I mean, Eduardo Mora is decent. And then before that, Jacqueline Amarim and Amanda Lemos. I mean, that's not a crazy bad run right there. As to where at least Alice is winning a little bit, but it's not at a solid level. Rando Santos is probably the best dub there. Yeah, dude, are you kidding me? Bet on this fight? You know what I mean? What the fuck? I think the odds are crazy. I don't see how Ardelean warrants that, but Ruiz really has shown to be a one-trick pony. She's got a really nice headlock. Shout out to my buddy Sam Adamick, who did that all through middle school and went to the state fucking championship tournament in middle school with one technique, bro. He had a fucking headlock, and he would headlock everybody. And Ruiz is one of those where she's just one-trick pony, goes out there, looks for that headlock. She should link up actually with my guy Mike Samino, who's got like nasty work from that scarf hold position with the headlock. He'll take your arm, put it between his legs, do shoulder locks and stuff. My guy cool. Mike will train you, Ruiz. Okay, come through UFC Gym Huntington Beach. I think that you got to go Ardelean because Ruiz is not showing that she can compete at a UFC level. But I think it's not what those odds say, And I would not be surprised at all if Ruiz can eke out a decision here.
It's one of those fights where I think it does go over 2.5 at minus 275. Seems like that's, maybe a better call for this ladies matchup. You don't want to back Ardelean at minus 400 and then get tempted to back Montserrat at plus 300.
Talk about a
But
parlay
at the end of the
buster.
day, come on. It's one of those fights. I'd rather
Don't
just
blow up
chill.
your parlay. Like, why risk it? I said this about Drew Dober the other week. I'm like, why risk it? And you guys are getting crazy fight. Like, this one, bro, no. I'm not betting on this fucking fight.
Fuck no. Let's keep running up the card. Next fight, we got Ketlen Vieira versus Norma Dumont.
Better.
I'm going with Norma Dumont. She's on a nice win streak right now. I think she's going to be a little faster than Ketlen Vieira in the striking department. Boxing's good. Norma Dumont can mix it up with her hands nicely. Ground skills are solid as well. Ketlen Vieira does have the power Brazilian Muay Thai style. Decent looping shots and, has a decent ground game of her own. I feel like this is a pretty competitive fight. I expect another ladies fight that goes all 3 rounds and it's 3 hard rounds of work. But I think Dumont can land the bigger and better shots. Now, what I don't like with Norma Dumont, she's been out for a while, a little over a year. Ketlen Vieira, we saw her in her last fight against Macy Chiasson back in May. And for that fight, Ketlen Vieira came in. She was overweight, but then she made weight on the second attempt for a fight at 145. This fight's back down at 135. So a little bit of confusion for me there. I don't even know why they're doing women's featherweight fights in general, because that division is closed. I don't understand, but I think Norma Dumont can outwork her over 3 rounds. I'm going to say Dumont gets a competitive decision.
Man, this is a tough one for me, man, because I'm a Ketlen Vieira believer, right?
I know you are.
I've been and Ketlen's delivered. She beat Panny Kianzad. She beat Macy Chiasson. She beat Holly Holm, Misha Tate. I know they're getting old. Her losses are to, Raquel Pennington and Kayla Harrison. And the Raquel Pennington one was like an even fight. It was a very close fight. Kayla Harrison, not so much, but better than the champ did, though. Better than fucking Raquel Pennington did. Fuck, man. Is Dump Truck Dumont, after coming off of a year layoff, going to be able to beat a Ketlen Vieira? No, I'm going to go with Ketlen Vieira. Norma Dumont hasn't faced great competition yet. I think those names I listed off for Ketlen Vieira, she's just seen better competition in the UFC. Her activity is real. Her toughness is real. Her Muay Thai is real. Yeah. It's probably a really good fight, though. Any which way, I think the UFC's got to be happy here. Like, especially with Dumont. Dumont's more of a new face up at the top of the division. It'd be nice to see Dumont get a little bit of activity in and actually try to get towards this title shot. She's got some assets, and I think she can use them here, man. I think that it's a very competitive fight. It's a very good matchup. Great fucking matchmaking by the UFC. I think this goes down to a close decision. I think Ketlen Vieira could do a little more damage, but I got respect for Norma Dumont, man. She is a winner.
Plus 138, Ketlen Vieira as an underdog. Dumont sitting at minus 158, the favorite, and the over 2.5 at minus 360. I do think these ladies are going into the later stages. Bro, it's one of those fights that I could see it being tit for tat. Competitive decision at the end, a split decision maybe between the girls. I just think Dumont's a little quicker with hands, but I agree. Ketlen Vieira, she walks people down. She can throw some decent power shots. Her Muay Thai is pretty good. Her ground game's good. Dumont's going to have to pepper her and keep her off. I'm curious to see how they tangle in close. I feel like Dumont outworks her by a tad, but at the end of the day, I think decision over 2.5 rounds makes a lot of sense. It's another ladies fight, man. Another ladies fight. 3 out of the 4 fights we've broken down have been ladies here.
Yes, but another level. Like, you can, this is getting to where we're at more reliable performances. I know Ketlen Vieira's style. I know Norma Dumont's style. So a fun one for sure. An important matchup in the division. I think you can't really say that about the other ones.
I like Dumont's fight against Aldana, though. I will say she busted up a good boxer.
Yeah. But Aldana is so goddamn stationary. She does this a lot. Fucking high guard. So I think it worked for Dumont. Ketlen Vieira, a little bit different of a style, a little more of a threat.
Understand? Listen, we shall see between the ladies. Finchman and I going on different angles here. Finch going Vieira, the dog, going Dumont. And let's run it up to the next fight. We got Donte Johnson versus Cedric Dumas. Johnson made a splash on Contender Series week 3. Knocked out heavyweight Darian Abbey. Tall heavyweight too, like 6'6", 6'7". And now drops down to middleweight. And he's taking on Cedric Dumas. He's coming off that no contest with Zach Reese where he was kicked in the nuts. I think Donte Johnson's a force in this fight here. Doesn't have the experience of Cedric Dumas, but he's a big power puncher, very aggressive striking. I think he's the better wrestler between the two of them. I don't know where Cedric Dumas' head is at. I don't ever know where it's at. The guy's in trouble all the time.
Yeah.
I know that Donte Johnson is hyper fixated on this fighting shit. And he seems to have the God-given gift of punching power with a strong base of wrestling. And I think he's able to outwork Dumas. I just think Dumas is going to end up getting dropped here. I'm going with Donte Johnson to get the hand raised. What do you think, Finchmeister?
Wild fucking matchup, dude, because we're talking about a heavyweight dropping down to fight Cedric Dumas. We're talking about a guy who has all first-round KOs. Every fucking fight, Johnson gets you out of there. Super, super dangerous. As AJ said, has ability to wrestle. And Cedric Dumas, I mean, can I doubt somebody more? Like, I do believe, and a lot of people disagree with me, and you guys could be right. I don't know, but I do believe that there was a bit of theatrics going on last time with the cup shot. I know you did. Was there live and said that too. I also heard that somebody was there live and thought the same thing. But I really believe that Cedric Dumas is sort of not focused, not training correctly, not taking this as seriously as this 26-year-old prospect. Give me Johnson, give me KO.
Johnson is a huge favorite. A lot of respect on his name right now. Is minus 350 on the money line. Dumas plus 285. And then Johnson to win by knockout minus 215. So big expectation for Donte Johnson to buzzsaw through an experienced vet in Cedric Dumas. And I see why. I mean, if you look at Dumas's UFC career, the no contest with Zach Reese, fight before that, got starched by Oleg Jacek. He complained about the stoppage a bit, but got dropped bad there. Beat Dennis Talulin in the fight before. That doesn't mean much to me. Then the Sultan Riziboyev fight, he did get eye poked and then knocked out. Lost to Josh Friend by sub. His UFC wins are Cody Brundage, Abu Azaitar, and Dennis Talulin. I think Donte Johnson has potential to do something here. He's got some type of potential to make some waves, man. I think he's a decent talent with big power. A little bit short for the division. Definitely short for heavyweight, but especially still short for 185 pounds here. Curious to see how he looks on the scale. I'm curious if there's ever a potential cut down to 170, but I think he might just be too muscle bound. I think that buzz sawing through a Cedric Dumas for a power hitter like Johnson makes a ton of sense here.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of questions around what he'll look like at 185. Does he make weight? There are some issues here for sure. There are some X factors. So the odds being a little wide, but I was calling this before, we were saying this, beforehand, that Dumas is fighting with an ankle brace monitor on from the judge, we've been on this. So, now that everybody else is here, including Las Vegas, and they're going to pick this UFC newcomer over him, just to put it in context, we have no idea if Johnson can even make weight. So if I
think he will. It's because he's short, man. 5'8".
Yeah, he was 209 at heavyweight. So,
yeah.
If he does look good at weigh-ins, that would be the only time I would consider betting on this fight.
I think Johnson first round KO. I'm gonna go out and predict that. It's plus 130, but I do think he gets it. I think Dumas is getting slept here. Makes too many mistakes, man. The way he dips his head and shit, doesn't respond to big punches that well. And I don't think he keeps this kid off of him. I'm going Johnson to walk him down and chin him.
I agree with that.
Let's go. Next fight on the card. We got Timmy Cuamba versus Chang Ho Lee at bantamweight. Cuamba made his UFC debut and had a damn good fight at 155 pounds with Balaji Oki on less than a week's notice. then dropped down to 145, got fucked up badly by Lucas Almeida. But in his most recent fight, looked really dangerous against Roberto Romero, who had a big splash against David Onama in his UFC debut. Now he decides I'm dropping down to bantamweight, and he's taking on Chang Ho Lee. I've been waiting for the guy to take Chang Ho Lee out. I picked him against him, rather, with Romeois. I was way wrong. Romeois turned out to sell hard. But I think Cuamba's my guy to handle business. I'm calling the hit, and Cuamba's my hit man. Understand? The worry I have, though, is this weight cut. The worry I have is how does he look at 135? The reason I believe he's going to be okay is because he's a very young prospect. He's in his mid-20s right now. I think that Timmy Cuamba can get down to 135. He's not a guy that was like overly muscle-bound at 45. He wasn't very tall, 5'9", which is kind of crazy. We're talking about a guy at 5'9" was fighting at heavyweight. Now we got a guy at 5'9" cutting to 135 pounds. Kind of wild, right? I think that Timmy Cuamba, with no issues on the scale, can force Chang Ho Lee into a bit more of a striking fight and stop those takedowns. And I think Chang Ho Lee is way too vulnerable to big head strikes. He walks in with a reckless abandon. He likes that dangerous inside fighting and clinch work into the takedowns. I see Cuamba striking is way better. I think Cuamba's knocking his ass out.
Yeah, man. Cuamba finishes half his fights by knockout. Has fought some decent competition. I mean, Chang Ho Lee versus Long Shao got hit a bit and came out with that split decision. Cortavius Romeus, I've never liked. I've always faded Cortavius, so I'm not surprised, motherfuckers. But I'm gonna go with you. I think Cuamba can beat. Holy shit! I think that Cuamba can win. I think Cuamba can do more damage. I think Cuamba can get big moments in this fight. So even if it does go long, I think he could take it on the scorecards if he doesn't get him out of there. 29-28, probably droppingly.
You know what the odds are? Even right down the line. -110 Cuamba right now.
Makes sense. Lee's on a little bit of a, he, coming off a road to UFC where he was finishing people. And then, he finishes Cortavius Romeus. I mean, I'm not a holy hater.
Holy shit. I think Cuamba is going to catch that chin. I'm excited to see how he looks at 135.
Talented
Obviously,
striker. Explosive.
Good striking. Big pop. Can do it all, though. Can go 3 hard. Can get a knockout in this fight. I think it's Cuamba's time to shine, man. I just don't think Chang Ho Lee is that good. I've never thought he was that good. I just wasn't impressed with him. And now in the UFC, matched up against a dangerous striker that's fought Balagioki at lightweight, a big, heavy power puncher, and dealt with that. And now I got him fighting against Chang Ho Lee. What are we doing?
Right.
I think Cuamba all day. I think Cuamba locks it in. I'm going Cuamba confidently. I'm having deja vu right now, Mike Finch. I feel like we've done this fucking fight before. I think Cuamba's a lock. Cuamba's going to win. Cuamba's going to win.
I'm with it too. I think Cuamba's talented. Cuamba weight class down is nice too. You always like to see people weigh in when they drop weight is all I would say.
Yeah. But no, I like his chances. I'm feeling pretty good about it. And I like the even odds for Timmy Cuamba here. We're going with him. Let's keep running up. Next fight on the card. Billy Elekana versus Kevin Christian to close out the prelims. I'm going with Billy Elekana.
Hey.
Kevin Christian's 6'7". He's freakishly tall. But dude, that Contender Series fight, I mean, his striking is like rudimentary. It's like bing, bing. There's no juice to it. And it's not like there's a lot of multi-shot combos. He's not that aggressive, holds his ground, throws a kick out, very calm and patient. And I guess maybe sometimes that's a positive, but I'm not sold. His takedown defense is mediocre. Elekana can definitely wrestle him up. I think Elekana is the better boxer, the bigger puncher. Christian got a submission triangle armbar from bottom in round number 2 against Mazzeo, but the guy that he beat, Mazzeo, who, I had some hope on, he's an Italian guy that was trying to come up. I mean, most recently lost against Aldo Pereira, who's, actually gave Michael Oliveira a tough fight, but I don't know, man. I'm just thinking about the Kevin Christian side, and I'm thinking to myself, this guy doesn't seem UFC level. I wasn't sold on him heading into Contender. He took a long absence in his fighting career from 2019 to 2024. There was a layoff. Then, worked his way into the Contender Series fight, takes on a guy in Mazzeo who was wrestling him up, uses that bottom game jiu-jitsu, gets a sub. Elekana looked real good against Bogdan Gushkov early, had his back and had moments against one of the best light heavyweights in the world right now, a top 10 guy. Obviously, eventually got submitted. And then his most recent fight completely shut down Ibo Aslan, who at one point had a lot of hype. And, obviously the hype has died after that Elekana loss. But I think that Elekana is good to go in this one. I think this is a step down in competition, probably the worst of the three. I think Elekana handles here.
Yeah, man, you got to go Elekana. These are both big light heavyweights. 6'3" and 6'7" is insane. Elekana with the striking, Elekana with the wrestling too, probably. Coming off of the Contender Series, like if you're 6'7", and I had to guess what your favorite submission was, triangle armbar is probably up there. That's probably about the best we're going to see from Christian. As to where Billy Elekana, a lot more consequence on the feet, has the ability to knock people out. I could see him catching a chin here. Yeah, Billy Elekana is probably a lock against Christian.
Minus 250 for Elekana with Christian at plus 210. I feel like I have to be confident in Elekana. If he goes out and loses here, I'll be sitting there a little bit shell-shocked, man. I'm just not impressed by Kevin Christian at all. I wasn't impressed on Contender Series, and nothing changed. Like what? The UFC debut, we ain't seen it. He hasn't fought in the UFC yet. His last fight was September of last year, so he's been off for over a year. This is not a guy that I think goes out and wins against Elekana. I think the odds are justified. I think the odds might even be closer than they could be. I mean, if Elekana was minus 350, I wouldn't have batted an eye, and I still would have felt real good about it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I think, the odds aren't honestly too crazy on this one. If you guys want to see my most confident picks, I'll see you guys right after this show. But I'll go ahead and say this is one of them. Elekana's got a major advantage in the striking. He probably uses it. Yeah,
Elekana all day. I'm thinking about, how does Elekana win? If you look at his resume, he has 4 decisions, 3 KOs, 1 decision. We don't know about Kevin Christian's chin before, but I definitely think he's going to be at a speed disadvantage. Really tall guy, so going to have some length, but I think that height could end up getting him into trouble. Like I could see Elekana clubbing him with a shot over the top and shutting the lights off. So Elekana to pull through. The call for me. The call for the Finch. No surprises in this one. You ready to jump to the main card?
Let's go.
If you guys are watching and enjoying, make sure you all hit that damn like button.
Do it.
If you're new to the channel, subscribe it up. We got Rodrigo Nascimento versus short notice replacement. Oh my God, Rodrigo Nascimento is crazy. We got Alan Nascimento.
Dog.
Rodrigo. We're thinking about the heavyweight. We got Alan Nascimento versus Cody Durden stepping in on, about a week's notice. Big chance for him here.
Yeah, but should he be taking it, bro? Like,
No.
Durden's 1-4 in his last 5. Like, bro, this might be a mistake to take this shit.
I think Nascimento sub. I think Nascimento's grappling is a lot better.
I
feel like Durden's towards the tail end of his career. Last fight, Ochoa flatlined him. He got fucked up by Joshua Van. Win was against Matt Schnell. Lost to Bruno Silva. Granted, he was looking good against Bruno Silva early before he had violently chinned. And it was a Bruno Silva coming off a layoff, though. And then Tigir Ulanbekov subbed him back a year and 10 months ago. I feel like with Nascimento, you're looking at a guy that actually gave Ulanbekov one of his toughest fights, split decision in his UFC debut with Ulanbekov, 3-fight win streak, W over Jafael Filho recently. And you will look at the Filho fight and say, oh, but Filho made the mistakes and lost. He got bit by a spider, this, and that. Okay, whatever. What I like is I got Nascimento back less than 5 months since his most recent fight. An active Nascimento, too. He was on a long layoff when he jumped into that Filho fight and still was able to find a way to go out and win against a very talented guy, a guy that I would pick to beat Cody Durden at this point. I think Nascimento is going to dominate on the ground. I think Nascimento is going to find the submission here, and I think that he looks good.
specifically taking the back of the wrestler. You know, you said you were having deja vu on the other one. I feel like I've seen this fight before. I think I see Nascimento climbing onto that back and strangling Durden. You know, Durden's got the wrestling background, but he keeps getting caught on the feet. So I think Nascimento could be, you know, able to let his strikes go a little bit here. And then as soon as they start grappling, like if Durden wants to wrestle him, I think he will get his neck taken. I'm going to assume it's from the back, and I'm going to assume it's a rear naked strangle. Nascimento, massive for the weight class, extremely strong, much better at submission grappling. I don't really see where Durden has the advantage. You know, even if he wrestles in this fight, like Nascimento off his back could sweep him, bro. I could see Nascimento getting to, you know, some type of wrestle up where he takes his back. So Nascimento, strangle.
Minus 230 for Nascimento, plus 195 for Durden. Are those odds too close?
Yeah.
Are those odds too close? Because I'm thinking to myself, what?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I think Nascimento.
Short notice, Durden?
A lock, bro.
Come on. Yeah, I think Nascimento buzz. I think sub is hitting.
Yeah, good
I'm
call.
curious what the sub line's going to be. I don't see it in front of me, but, you know, it might be plus 110. I think the sub is really live in this fight. I think Nascimento, 15 minutes to work. I don't think Durden's knocking him out with punches. I don't think Durden is wrestle fucking him, because if they go to the ground, Durden is always threatened on the back. From Nascimento, from bottom, threatens him.
For real.
Nascimento with a sweep. Nascimento then defending the takedown into a reversal, gets on top, takes the back subs. I think this is Nascimento's fight. And I think he goes out and looks pretty good. I think this is the fight that he looks better than last time against Hyeon, and he still found a way to win.
There was a moment in time where Durden looked like at least like a legit gatekeeper who could kind of contend with the guys, and that moment's come and gone, bro. He's had the lights shut out now, you know, and we're talking about a Nascimento who you called him the dark horse of the division in your last video. I watched your shit. You called him the dark horse of the division. I think that's right. I think Nascimento is actually low key really good.
Yeah, agreed. Nascimento to win. And I think that right now in the minus 200 range, I'm surprised. I think Nascimento could easily be a 4-1 favorite. I'm actually surprised looking at some of the odds from last week on certain matchups in this one that a short notice Durden isn't a bigger underdog in this spot. So Nascimento by sub.
Nascimento by sub. I agree.
Let's go. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card. We got Chuck Buffalo, Charles Radtke versus Daniel Frunza. Mike Finch, break this fight down for us, my brother.
Hang on. I got a visual aid for you guys. You guys ready for this shit?
Let's go.
AJ already knows what the fuck is up. Chuck motherfucking Buffalo is back, bitches. Y'all thought he got killed by that Canadian? Nuh-uh, motherfuckers. The Buffalo's still out. And you know what? I know AJ's hating, all right? I know AJ's hating, but that's okay. Because Chuck fucking Buffalo can out-grapple Frunza all day. And I think if he's smart, if he fights a good game plan, bro, I am tempted to just call him. He's in my phone. Should I fucking call him right now?
No, because I'm picking against him. He's going to be pissed.
I'm telling him, Chuck, his name's Charlie. Charlie, you have to grapple in this fight. If you grapple, you will dominate this dude. There's no reason to bang with this motherfucker, you know? And you know what? If Charlie wants to roll the dice and bang with him, he could probably win that too, you know? Frunza likes getting clipped and banging it out with people and showing his toughness. But I think that the biggest difference between these two is the submission grappling game of Charlie Radtke. You know, I've been doing jiu-jitsu since I was a little kid. I rolled with Charlie Radtke. His fucking front headlock guillotine game is a vice. You are caught in a fucking medieval guillotine where they fucking throw the tomatoes at you and shit. You ain't getting your head out, okay? I think Charlie Radtke can absolutely submit Frunza. He could absolutely get to a good wrestling position and TKO him. I think Charlie Radtke being a better MMA fighter than Frunza gets him out of there.
I keep the shades on for this, Finch. I think that Charles Radtke is not going to partake in a grapple fucking. I think I think Charlie Radtke He's gonna clip this, guys, because if Radtke gets chinned in this one, it's gonna be hilarious to look back at. I think that Charles Radtke is a dangerous stand-up fighter. And he's aggressive and he slugs bombs. He's a fighter's fighter. He likes to brawl. His ground skills, for sure, it's something that we know about. But we haven't seen it work inside the octagon. We haven't really seen him show it. He's a knockout puncher. And his style is violence first. Daniel Frunze's got a knack for getting dropped. And I will predict that Frunze gets dropped in this fight. I think Charles Radtke can get a 10-8 round one. But what's going to happen is Frunze is going to keep coming. And he's going to keep coming. And he's going to keep coming. Frunze has got the size advantage here. Bit taller than Charles Radtke. He's got good straight shots. He's got a nice right hand. And he's got good comeback ability, good cardio, and he doesn't stop, and he's got power. I think we're going to see Daniel Frunze with a comeback knockout. I think Radtke looks good in round one. Normally, people do look good in round one against Frunze, but I don't think he gets him out of there. And I think, looking at the last one, Radtke's chin got snapped up by Malat. I think that a knockout is coming this time, too. I think Frunze is going to be
Mike Malat would do to Frunze.
Styles make the fights. I think Radtke's coming out hard. I think Radtke looks, and he's like, okay, Reese McKee is tuning this dude up. I should knock his ass out.
Yeah.
And I think he's like, I should put him away. Cootsie drop, I should put him away. I think that Frunze has very good recovery. And I really feel like Frunze is going to come back from adversity and pull off the knockout win. And I like this matchup because violence is imminent. This fight ends in KO. Somebody's getting put to bed. And listen, Finch, I'll give you all your flowers. If Radtke goes out there and wrestle fucks him and chokes him out, I say smart. That's a smart strat. But I'm not convinced Radtke's going to do that. His style is violence first. And I think this is a violent fight between two guys that want to trade.
Solid fucking take by Sean Shelby saying that Bilal Muhammad, he's trained with pretty extensively. Bilal's not telling him to bang. You know what I mean? They're telling him to go out there and wrestle, of course, Brendan Allen, etc. He's been training with great grapplers. So, I think that we could be surprised by the grappling offense of Charlie Radtke. It is fair because you have to judge the performances, right? But I've seen Charlie Radtke grapple with Pat Kern, for instance. Like I've watched it in the gym. We're talking 7 years ago. He was really special at grappling. For whatever reason, he gets into these fights and he likes to go out there and hunt with a left hook, and sometimes he finds that left hook and it's pretty gnarly. I just know that he has these skills that Frunze doesn't, AJ. So I'm going to go with the person who has the tools to win. And Charlie Radtke, I mean, even if they just strike, I'm still going to give him the edge. I see what you're saying. Charlie Radtke has slowed down as the fights wore on. Sometimes when he misses kind of big and he could be hurt by like a Carlos Prates or a Mike Malat, but this ain't Carlos Prates or Mike Malat. You know what I'm saying? Charlie Radtke submission.
Have you seen Radtke getting dropped in fights and come back and winning?
Usually Radtke runs you over, when he wins. Like, so Charlie Radtke's wins are generally him destroying people, right? It is. I don't know. It's not necessarily a good thing that Frunze, gets rocked. Like, if you get hit by Charlie Radtke, that might be it, I told you though, Charlie Radtke's not known for his cardio. I would agree.
I just think with Radtke, he's going to come out strong round one. And I think Frunze is a guy that takes a little bit to start sometimes and he gets caught early. I just don't think Radtke puts him out. I think Frunze has got a knack for coming back, man. Certain guys got crazy comeback skills. I think Frunze is one of those guys that's in great shape. He's got great recovery. I'm going to go out and say this. I picked Reese McKee as a dog with Frunze, and he got the doctor stoppage, and he beat him up round one. But when that round was ending, I'm like, shit, if there isn't a stoppage in the corner, I feel like Frunze is then live for the knockout. I'm feeling like Frunze late round one, then round two, round three, that's when he starts to come on strong. There's this, I don't know, certain toughness that I think that he has. Like if Radtke goes out, finishes him, maybe if Radtke clubs and subs him, that's smart. That's a good strat.
Yep.
Club and sub, knock him down with a big shot, take his back, choke his ass out.
Yep.
That's a genius strategy. If it doesn't happen though, and he blows his wad looking for big shots, I think that's when Frenza comes on. And I'm going to predict Frenza comes on.
You know, the one thing I'll tell you guys, since you're all around the campfire with me, is I see other people classifying Charlie Radtke as like this left hook or bust fighter. I'm telling you guys, he has the ability to out grapple these guys. You know, Charlie Radtke, you know, I used to commentate his fights when he was an amateur fighting for the XFO, the Extreme Fighting Organization. I commentated his brother's fights. They used to train at Wrecking Ball, where I very briefly trained. I was at Ohana Martial Arts, which became Wrecking Ball. Who gives a fuck? I'm just telling you that there's a history of Charlie Radtke with grappling competition. Me and him competed in the same fucking division. There's a photo out there where he placed first and I placed third. We didn't end up grappling each other, but he placed first and I placed third in the same grappling tournament, same exact division. And you guys know I'm sick with it, right? So Charlie Radtke's got a ground game. I think that Charlie Radtke's going to win by submission against Frenza and show you guys the other layers to this cake.
Radtke plus 525 by sub.
I don't know that I'm chasing sub. Like, what's the money line?
Money line is Radtke minus 160, Frenza plus 140.
They are showing Radtke more love than I thought. That's wider than I thought. That's why I thought they'd hate on him. But you know what? Again, it's like, look at who Carlos Prates and Mike Malott are. Mike Malott just won in the co-main event. I know he kicked Kevin Holland in the nuts. He actually didn't look great in that fight. I thought he looked a lot better against Charlie. Just he looked on. You know, his striking looked impressive. And then Carlos Prates, y'all already know. Carlos Prates is wicked Muay Thai. This is not that level, AJ. I think he's taking him out.
Mike and Radtke carved their initials into a tree is crazy from Davey. That's funny as fuck, dude. Holy shit. Holy shit.
We did not. However, we both grew up in you know, little tiny Lake County, Illinois. So gotta show some love to my boy.
Let's go. Respect on the Finchman side. I knew it was coming. I was prepared. And I look forward to seeing the fight. Let's go. Next fight. We have between Isaac Dulgarian and Yadier Del Valle. I'm going with Isaac Dulgarian. I'm going with the UFC veteran. I'm going with the high-level wrestler. Del Valle, he's a beast, right? Grappling people up, submission specialist, strong on the ground, in-your-face style. But, bro, Dulgarian does all that. And Dulgarian's one loss. Me and Mike Finch both. Were we both on C-Rod in that fight? Or were we both on Dulgarian? You were on C-Rod? How was that fight? What did we have on that?
I think, if I remember correctly, because C-Rod's hard to take down, and he's also very good at standing up and keep scrambling. I think I had C-Rod.
Okay. That fight there easily could have been a draw. It was very competitive. Back and forth. Dulgarian slowed a little bit round number 3. And that's where we saw C-Rod put it on him. Comes back. Beats Brendan Marat. He's taking a year off. He's not just fucking around partying for that year off. I looked at his Instagram. He said something that I like. He said, I'm really looking forward to showcase these new tools. I think that he took a year to refine some things. And I think that Isaac Dulgarian is a problem with the takedown threat against a guy in Del Valle who likes pulling for the gilly. He's getting silly jumping gilly. It's a habit of his. I think when he's tested in the wrestling, I could see Del Valle making some mistakes. I'm going with Dulgarian to be able to out-wrestle him, out-grapple him, and pull off the W here. He trains at a really good gym, Factory X. He's a training partner of Yusuf Zalal, one of the best featherweights on the planet right now. I think that Isaac Dulgarian comes in and looks pretty good against a guy with some hype right now, but I don't think he's ready for this. So I'm going Dulgarian to win.
Yeah, I mean, this is what Del Valle's second UFC fight. You know, I think Dulgarian's a hell of a fucking test. You know, C-Rod, it was very competitive. Who knows who really won that fight? I mean, C-Rod's just, you know, you take him down, it's like trying to hang on to a fucking tumbleweed. Dude just doesn't stop rolling, you know? So I think that Dulgarian here, with a guy who wants to grapple with him, will show his level. You know, his wrestling's tremendous. He's real special. I'm a Dulgarian fan, I must say. So, you know, I'm gonna trust that he comes back well here. You're right. He hasn't fought since September of last year, but you know, more UFC, a little bit more UFC experience, and 29 years old, kind of coming into his prime. I'm gonna trust that Dulgarian can control where this fight takes place, and that will matter a lot. You know, in Factory X, he's training with my boys, the Oscar brothers, and you know, I got my spies in that camp too. Dulgarian for the dub. I agree with you, dog.
Oh, his UFC debut, he beat Francis Marshall by ground and pound KO. That's an impressive win. Francis Marshall could have got that nod against some Iron Santos. So it's not like Dulgarian hasn't beaten, a decent prospect before. And Del Valle, a decent prospect, but I'm just not convinced. He looked real good with Connor Matthews, but it's Connor Matthews. I think Dulgarian, even if it's to a decision, I think he can go out and pull it off in this matchup here. And looking at the betting lines, minus 240 for Dulgarian as a favorite, Del Valle plus 205. What's interesting, though, is Tapology, 62% of the community is picking Del Valle, but he is an underdog still.
But those polls, bro, I mean, those polls get so silly, I don't even trust them. I feel like people, if they don't like a fighter, they like a certain fighter, they don't actually, you see who people bet on. I think that's a better, when you see the lines move, like, all right, not, they really believe so-and-so is going to win Moneyline. I trust that a lot more. I think Dulgarian gets it done. It might be a decision because, Del Valle has definitely a submission game. But, yeah, I think Dulgarian can win a 30-27.
Let's go. Dulgarian to pull it off. Live to dominate. Live to even potentially get a finish in this fight with the level of grappling. We haven't seen Del Valle fight at this level before against somebody as capable as Dulgarian. Of course, he has a win over a good striker in Michael Aswell outside of the UFC. But that was also 2 years and 3 months ago, and Aswell in his early 20s at the time has definitely improved leaps and bounds since that point. Not saying Del Valle hasn't, but, he had that edge in the maturity of the body in that one. I'm going with Dulgarian to get back on track, get 2 wins in a row now, and make a splash in his UFC return. Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Next fight, featured fight. Jeremiah Wells versus Temba Gorimbo. I'm going with Jeremiah Wells to win this fight. I think he's going to look pretty good. Temba Gorimbo, big body. Temba Gorimbo, big boy. Finchman staring me down. I see him through the shades right now. He's probably picking
Through
Gorimbo.
the shades.
Through the shades.
I'm conveying shade. That's what I'm doing.
I'm going with Jeremiah Wells.
He's 100 years old. What the fuck are you?
He's
what?
A savage. Split
What?
decision with Max Griffin. Max Griffin's still pretty legit. Fight before that, dominating, then comeback loss to the brother of Gorimbo. Honestly, kind of reminds me of a better submission threat, Carlston Harris of Gorimbo. Kind of, they actually seem similar in ways.
Jesus Christ.
I think that Jeremiah Wells can out-grapple Gorimbo. I think he can hurt him with punches. I don't know with Temba Gorimbo. He's got size on his side, tall, lanky. But damn, bro, you getting choked out by Luque? You getting dropped by Luque? Come on, man. I got doubts. Gorimbo still got subbed up by AJ Fletcher. That short, stocky, power grappling build seems to be a potential kryptonite to Gorimbo as well, which is another reason I like Jeremiah Wells here. I think Wells can pull this one out.
Man, 39? Is that right? 38.
Years young.
8 years old, bro. Oh, motherfucker. 38 versus 34. You're talking about a 6'1" Temba Gorimbo. How fucking short as Wells? 5'9", 6'1" versus 5'9". Just lost to Max Payne Griffin. How old is Max Griffin?
So about 50.
I can see this. Get out of here, Tapology ads. 39. He just lost to 39-year-old Max Payne Griffin, who I don't rank Max fucking Griffin. No, I don't. Okay, there's something to say here, and that's the obvious elephant in the room is Temba Gorimbo ain't who we thought he was, right? He was hyped up. He was everybody mentions the fucking time when The Rock gave him that house. AJ goes, I think he just rented it for him. AJ, he bought him the house. What do you mean he rented it for him, paid for it for a year? What the fuck? He can afford a house. You know how much money The Rock has, dude? A house ain't shit for him, homie. He bought him a house, for real. God damn. He doesn't believe in Temba Gorimbo so much. He thinks it was rented for a year. He doesn't even think he got the house. Jesus Christ. I think Temba Gorimbo still got a future in the UFC. Temba Gorimbo should be able to stop him at the clinch. I think Temba Gorimbo in like an over-under on the fence is actually pretty good. He's got a lot of submission victories pre-UFC. I know he got caught in that anaconda choke by Vicente Luque, which looks terrible. But before that, the win over Ramiz Brahimaj in 2024 has aged wonderfully. Ramiz Brahimaj is looking fantastic. Nico Price is a dog himself, you know. I think he could bounce back against Jeremiah Wells here. I got Themba Gorimbo. I think Themba Gorimbo could beat Jeremiah Wells really in every facet of the game. I think he's going to have better cardio. I think he's going to have better striking. I think he's going to be better in the wrestling department. He's got some submission game on the floor. I think Jeremiah Wells is on his way out of the UFC, and I think Themba Gorimbo is going to be able to bounce back here. I like Themba Gorimbo a lot more than you.
Seems like it. I don't know with Gorimbo, man. That Brahimaj win, I feel like Brahimaj is a different level now. Brahimaj had a long layoff before that Gorimbo fight.
It was last year.
He got outworked. Yeah, he was on a long layoff. Now Brahimaj is on fire. That activity is a factor, right? I don't know with Themba Gorimbo's style. Something's missing for me. I think of him losing to Fletcher earlier in his UFC run. Short, stocky dude. I feel like Jeremiah Wells is going to have a big punch power advantage. I'm curious to see. Now, I've been a Gorimbo doubter in the past. I've then jumped on the train and obviously crashed hard. But I think that Wells is very live in this spot. I think it's interesting what you say, though. I want to see how they tie up. I want to see how the grappling looks because Wells is pretty strong with the takedowns, and I want to see how the striking looks. Gorimbo from range has a decent.
Gorimbo stops him there, bro.
Yeah. What about the stand-up?
Underhook, under-over on the fence. Gorimbo is great under-overs on the fence. He's great in those tie-ups. And you know what? If you like activity, then you're on Gorimbo too. Wells hasn't fought in a year and a half.
Year and a half coming back better than before. With that type of power,
38?
year and a half. 38.
At 38?
I think Wells can do it.
Wow.
I think Wells can do it. I think Wells can catch him. I think Wells can hurt him. I got my doubts about Themba Gorimbo, Mike Finch. You can't lose to Luque.
You're under arrest.
You can't lose to Luque in 50 seconds, bro. In 2024. It just can't happen.
You know what? Even the best fall down sometimes. Even the wrong fights and an anaconda choke. You know what I mean? Like it's just, you know, that tricked me too. That tricked me because I was like, nah, Vicente Luque still got it. You know, he tricked me. God damn it. Vicente Luque got killed by Kevin Holland. Jesus hell. I think Themba Gorimbo is one of my more confident picks on this fucking card. Homie, I'm against you on this one, dog. I'm excited to see it though. I'm you know, if Wells wins, you'll be my first text message, okay?
What I'll tell you though is if you really feel confident on Gorimbo, you got a good line. -125 for Themba Gorimbo, +105 for Jeremiah Wells. So near even money between these two.
I like it. I like it. Yeah. I'll be honest. I like it.
All right. There we go. Props that catch my eye right now. I don't know with this one. Wells could potentially catch him big with a power shot. But Gorimbo seems, I mean, he seemed to have a decent chin, and then Luque drops him with a straight. Wells, when he lands, is terrifying. You remember when Wells burst onto the scene with pop?
Sure. In the 90s? What are you talking about?
Back in the 90s, back when he was fighting in fucking backyard brawls and shit. Oh shit. Back when he was fighting in Valle Chudo in
Kimbo Slice, right?
Listen, he fought Kimbo Slice. He did a good job. I think Jeremiah Wells and Gorimbo is an interesting fight. I look forward to seeing it. Man. I'm definitely not telling you that Jeremiah Wells is my lock because I see KZ saying Finch sold Gorimbo harder than AJ sold Wells. I don't want to oversell a guy coming off of a fucking layoff here. It's my doubt of Gorimbo with my thoughts that Wells is a tricky fight for
him. What's the trick? He's going to take him down?
I think he could. And even if he doesn't, the striking. I think Wells overhands. I think Wells power shots. Gorimbo, I don't know, man. I don't know with Gorimbo. I'm worried about that chin. That damn loss to Luque is ugly for me. Granted, Wells losing to Carlston Harris wasn't pretty, but he was dominating the fight.
Or a 40-year-old Max Griffin. I mean, 5'9 versus 6'1. So 5'9, 5'10, 5'11. 6 foot, so 4 inches. You know what I mean? For that 4 inches of reach, I think Temba can control on the outside a little bit and then crash in, get into that clinch. I think Temba wins both of those ranges. You know, Wells in a firefight wins, but Gorimbo doesn't like plant his feet and bang. I honestly think Gorimbo's a pretty bad matchup for him.
Let's go. Respect to the Finch, man. Going Gorimbo. I'm going for the Wells, man. I'm going team.
You're on the dog. You're on the dog.
On the dog. Let's get to the next fight. Co-main event. We got Where's Waldo? Cortes-Acosta versus Ante Delija. Is recency bias a bitch? Maybe. I'm going Ante Delija to pull this one off.
Bitch.
Who you going with, Finch?
I'm going Where's Waldo? How dare you jump off your boy? AJ loves Where's Waldo. AJ loves Where's Waldo. What the fuck, dude? You're off the bandwagon like that? One fucking loss via decision.
It's the Apex.
And you're off your boy like that?
I know. Listen, what I'll say is this. I like Waldo a lot. You know it. I don't like this fight at the Apex. That small cage with Delija's pressure style and the fact that Waldo doesn't bring a serious consequence with his shots. I think Delija can have control.
Apex. How many fucking times?
Has he won against an Ante Delija at the Apex? Ante Delija, he's a good pressure fighter, man. He's coming off the sick win in the debut against Tybura. I feel like with Where's Waldo, it could be a case of him getting stuck on that back foot a bit too much. And I think Delija could smother him up against the cage, 3 steps back, and we're in. He's got a lot of Apex wins, does Waldo. He's a king of the Apex. But against strikers, not guys looking for the power pressure. Though Delija got the knockout last time, I think of Delija as more of the pressure style, grappling in your face, back you up, throw some hard shots, and wrestle with you too.
AJ.
I can't trust Where's Waldo here, Finch. I can't.
I'm so disappointed.
I know you're disappointed. I can tell.
AJ,
I know.
What the fuck, AJ?
I know.
Jesus.
I know.
And you know what? I picked fucking the Pav over Waldo. Weren't you on Waldo?
I was delusional though.
Waldo.
I don't know. Someone's telling me Delija is gonna back him up.
Oh my God. Delija. Okay, the age isn't a problem, 35. But you know what? One UFC fight against Marcin Tybura, and we're gonna throw him Where's fucking Waldo? Homie went to decision with Maurice Green. A decision with Maurice Green, who has one fucking eye. I think that Where's Waldo is gonna kill this guy. Where's Waldo has beaten Sergey Spivak, Ryan Spann, Robelis de Spain by taking him down, a fucking fantastic kickboxer. Andre Arlovsky, Lucas Brzeski, Chase Sherman, Jared Vandera. I mean, some of these are not that good. Thomas Peterson, but the dude's been in the fucking UFC for 3 years, just active as fuck, running through the competition. Loses one decision to Sergey Spivak, and AJ has the goddamn nerve to jump off the bandwagon now. Hell no. I'm sticking with the UFC talent. Give me the guy with fucking 15 UFC fights. Give me the guy who is going to be faster, more athletic. I believe can wrestle with Delija to not get caught in bad positions on the ground. And Delija's got power, but Waldo with that jab, with those swatty punches, I feel like he's going to be able to outstrike Delija nicely here. Give me Where's Waldo. And when Where's Waldo wins, AJ will be the first goddamn text I send there too. I better be on the live, okay? Because I'm either getting dunked on, right, or I'm dunking. I'm going. Where's fucking Waldo?
This is a wild card. I was wondering how the picks were going to line up because I was thinking this is an interesting one here in the Apex. I mean, listen, Delija right now training with Tommy Aspinall. This is hope for the heavyweight division on my end. We got Delija going out. If he performs, he beats Waldo by TKO. He's on the fast track. He's right in the run now. He fights the Pav. He fights a Volkov.
It's true.
Where's Waldo? Spivak was still sitting in there striking with him, though.
It's Sergey Spivak, dog.
I feel like Delija is of that caliber, man. Don't look at the PFL too much.
I think that the Pav knocks Delija out. I do.
The Pav knocks him out?
Yeah.
I could see the Pav putting him out.
Puts him out.
I could see that.
And he has
got a good chin.
Where's Waldo?
Where's Waldo's got a real good chin.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I think Delija can smother him.
So you're saying Delija knockout, right? What are you saying?
I'm saying Delija decision. I'm saying Delija decision. I'm seeing it's going to be some pressure from Delija.
Flick jab, dude. You guys, your camera's fast enough to catch that?
He doesn't have the power, Finch. Waldo don't have the pop.
You just said it's going to go to a decision.
So Waldo's going to box him up for 3 rounds. Delija's going to be in his face taking him down.
He's a pro boxer.
He's a shiesty pro.
What the
He's
fuck?
a shiesty pro.
AJ loves activity. Here's the most active heavyweight in the UFC. Okay, AJ loves UFC experience. Here's a guy with 12 times the amount of UFC experience, and he goes Delija.
I'm riding the high off 321, man. I'm feeling something.
You might be high. Did you start smoking again?
No, I'm actually 82 days today.
Good shit, bro. It's a lot better than I'm doing.
82 days sober, Jay.
Okay.
Is that the dab pen? CBD line?
Yeah, bro. As soon as somebody busts out a blowtorch, you're doing drugs. Like I ain't dabbing, homie. I'm not fucking dabbing.
Dry herb?
Absolutely not. And you know what I got away from? Any of the flavored ones. Like if it's flavored, that means it's cancer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a doctor, but
I agree.
Don't smoke weed, kids. AJ's got that one right. But you know what he's got wrong? This goddamn fight.
He's pissed I'm going against Waldo. I had a feeling that I was going to be eating shit for this one right here. I think I'm high on Delija right now, bro. I really fell in love with the Marcin Tybura win for him. He looked like a fucking monster. I think it's going to be interesting because Waldo's going to have the weight advantage. I want to see how Delija does tying up with him, backing him up in that small cage. I'm hyped for this fight, dude. I'm hyped for this fight. I think this is a high stakes heavyweight fight. And especially with a Delija win, he's then, on the fast track.
Delija has one UFC fight, guys. He just beat Marcin Tybura. Marcin Tybura is 39 years old. He weighed in heavier than he has in a half decade. He came in at 256, and he's normally in the 240s. So he comes in fat against Delija and gets knocked out, as I think you predicted. I think you actually picked Delija, right? Yeah, I did. So I mean, there was nothing surprising about that performance. Here he is against a Where's Waldo, who we have both, I think, agreed is one of the top heavyweights in the UFC. So I'm gonna say Where's Waldo, and I'm gonna say it with my chest.
Right now, the odds are even. -105 for Where's Waldo, -115 for Ante Delija. Finchman, how do you like the betting side of this fight? You interested in a Where's Waldo money line?
Hit me with the money line.
-105, bro. Even Stevens.
Bro, you already know. You already know, homie. I'll be dropping my 5 most confident picks right after this. If you guys want to see who I'm betting on, direct message at Mike Finch Show on Instagram. That's where I put my bets. Generally, AJ, I do better on these little fight nights. Like generally, betting wise, these little fight nights are my bread and butter.
Listen, I'm excited for you, bro.
Was that a good
chat
deflection?
saying if AJ isn't on Waldo, then it's a free W. Bro, you know what you got to do? That's got to be the selling point this week. Say, listen, I'm the king of the fucking Apex, and that's
I'm the
it.
Apex king. Okay.
Let's go.
All right. I can't pick a girl fight to save my fucking life, but as far as fat heavyweights at the Apex, come to you, boy.
Hey, Where's Waldo's got a good 2-pack on him? You know what I'm saying?
It's a 1-pack, but you know what? He is a fit heavyweight. He's fast. He's talented. Former professional boxer who's learned how to wrestle a little bit. I'm putting respect on it, guys.
I'm excited for the fight, man. Finchman going Where's Waldo. I'm going Delija. I'm ready for the damn main event. If you guys are watching and enjoying, hit that damn like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We got David Onama versus Steve Garcia. Sick fight. Sick fight. Sick 5-round main event. I'm going with Steve Garcia. I feel like I just can't pick against the Garcia machine right now. David Onama's fast. David Onama's got pop in his hands. And Steve Garcia at times fights with that reckless abandon style where if he doesn't respect what Onama can do, especially it's a long fight, they got a lot of time to work. Onama could find that chin. He did it against Gabriel Santos in a comeback. But I really think Steve Garcia's stand-up game is sharper than David Onama. More weapons with the elbows, the kicks, and the knees. Whereas Onama, I like the hands. Onama can mix in some wrestling. He did against our guy, Giga Chikadze. But I think Steve Garcia right now, just too on fire for me to pick against. And I think that his power is going to be enough to separate Onama from consciousness at some point. I'm going Steve Garcia for the KO in this one, Finchman.
I like it, although every time Steve Garcia gets into a fist fight, he does the chicken dance. Every time he gets touched, he does the chicken dance. I mean, go look at the UFC just dropped a Steve Garcia fucking every single fight in the UFC thing, every win or whatever. I start watching it, first fight, wobbles, second fight, wobbles. Like, how many times is this guy hand going to touch the mat? I haven't heard anybody talk about it. It's important to say Onama's got some power. Garcia's got a questionable chin. With that being said, before I piss anybody off, let me say that he has great recovery. Having a chin and having good recovery are two different things.
Yes.
A chin means I can eat it and I don't wobble at all. I'm good. I got a chin on me, right? I got a stone chin. Good recovery, like Fedor Emelianenko, right? Fedor gets hurt, he's wobbling and shit, but he stays in the fight. Especially, I'm talking about prime Fedor now.
Yeah.
Pride Fedor stays in the fight. That's good recovery. Okay, it's much different than having a good chin like a Samoan. So Steve Garcia's recovery is notable. His grappling's probably a little bit underrated. You know, he gets people out of there with his striking. His hands are real nice. You know, Onama was able to beat up I shouldn't even say beat up, really just, you know, scored a clean decision over a Giga Chikadze who was outstriking him in moments, but, you know, he could just go through that wrestling grappling game. You know, Giga is a phenomenal kickboxer, but never really was able to turn the corner with his grappling. And I think Steve Garcia does have more layers to his game there. So I will lean towards a Steve Garcia, but I'll be honest, I don't think these guys are elite. I'm not super impressed by anything David Onama does. At least I could say Garcia is a dog. He can get hurt and come back. He's got some whippy punches. He's good at kickboxing. Like I said, I do think his ground game is competent. You know, Albuquerque's probably got him ready for some solid grappling as well in this fight. 5 rounds, and I appreciate his toughness and his grit. Give me Garcia, and you know, he'll be live to finish Onama via TKO. He will.
Fight to end inside the distance, -700. Money line for Garcia is -132 with Onama at +112. I think somebody's getting put to sleep in this fight on both sides. I think fight most likely ends in a violent knockout with the way I see it going down. I'm curious to see how both guys approach a 5-round championship, or not championship, but a 5-round main event. I feel like Garcia should be able to catch him. I think Garcia is a bit more talented in the striking. I think Onama could mix in some wrestling, but I don't see him grapple fucking Garcia. And Onama's got the touch of death, like if he lands clean, but I think he's also getting cracked. I think Garcia is going to hurt him with some shots, man. I think Onama wilts to the pressure, and Garcia eventually gets him out of there, man.
Yeah, I mean, not the biggest lock on the card, if I'm honest. And you know, not the greatest talent I've seen in the UFC. But as far as that word talent is concerned, Garcia does have a special ability in scraps with people to find the chin. He's got fast hands. You know, I called it whippy. Like he'll reach out there far, but he'll catch you with some shit. I could see him cracking Onama. And you know, Onama can't reliably out wrestle him, in my estimation, anyway. So we got to go with Garcia in the main event, man. And over 5, like, don't you like the tougher guy? Don't you like the guy who could bite down on his mouthpiece and make it happen? Garcia.
Yes, I agree. I like Garcia coming back from adversity in the past. A guy that's going to keep coming, keep swinging bombs, and I think eventually finds that kill shot with more weapons, man. I just think he's more violent. He's more dangerous. Onama could catch him with a right hand of some kind, but I think like Garcia could, like you said, whip shots at him, make it a dogfight, make it nasty. I look forward to this one, man. Damn fun main event. Not the highest level in the featherweight division, but as far as 2 guys that can put on an entertaining fight, definitely between these 2. We got back-to-back Apex cards. Next week is an Apex card. They give us the high of UFC Vancouver, UFC Rio the week before, and then most recently UFC 321, which ended with a bit of a low. And then we got 2 Apex cards into a massive UFC 322 for you know, pretty ballin' status. And then next month is sensational, or rather, you know, December, sensational as well, with some absolutely badass cards with, you know, 2 events, but 2 star-studded events. UFC 323, which is stacked. We got Brandon Royval, Manel Kopp. Holy shit. So, you know, 2 weeks of maybe less exciting main events, but good altogether. Good fights. I think this is a really underrated card with fun matchups. It just doesn't have the heavy name value.
Yeah, exactly. This is just going to be a card for hardcore fans. No, nobody's tuning in to see Onama and Garcia who doesn't tune into a pay-per-view. However, some of the matchups are fun, going up and down the card. There are definitely some scraps on this thing. So, we're addicts. We're UFC addicts. We're going to love it.
We are.
And I think there are some sneaky bets here. There were a couple odds that I saw, although this isn't the greatest betting card I've ever seen. There were a couple odds that I saw that I thought weren't wide enough, and I'll be happy to bet on those. I'll be happy to challenge Vegas on those.
Let's go. Listen, Finch, man, your boy's fucking sleepy, Jay, but I'm waking up for the parlay section. All right, I'm ready to drop some heat for the people. So let's jump into the parlays.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Open up your wallets and let's bet on some fitness fights.
Yeah. Parlay time. It's Halloween. I bet you didn't think I bust out a signed Tito Ortiz poster tonight. Yeah, it's a sign from my buddy JQ. I saw Tito at the gym. I'm like, bro, I got this friend from Illinois who's got the Punishment Athletics shorts. He's been watching your fights. He's a douchebag like you. He loves the Tito Ortiz thing. Can you please sign this poster? And he wrote it for John Quinlan. Jonathan, you're next, he said. The people's champ, Tito Ortiz. So shout out to Tito for hooking it up at the gym. The man. I'm going to send that over to JQ. Love you, JQ. Love you, Green Bean. A very exciting fighter. All right. First leg of the parlay. Okay. And I can't just give away the premium bets, but I do think this is a solid one. You got to go Nascimento over Cody Durden. I don't think the odds are wide enough. Cody Durden has been out of skin. Nascimento, an expert grappler, a very, very large fighter for the division. I think he's got this anywhere the fight goes, especially where Cody Durden likes to take it, which is on the ground. Give me Nascimento as the first leg of the parlay.
I think Nascimento is a fantastic first leg. I think he goes out there and puts on a clean win.
Bro, the whole chat is saying Durden out. Is this fake news?
Durden out it doesn't make sense. People are saying, oh, Estevam filled in. No, Estevam is out. ESPN does not, and UFC doesn't update the website. And Durden is on and in the fight. I haven't seen Durden pulling out, man. I haven't heard this. Where are you guys finding this information? Please, one of the mods, if this is true, send us a link.
News. The news is fake.
I'll look it up because now you got me thinking, what if?
I
don't think so. But no, Estevam is the guy that pulled out. Yeah. Cody Durden's in as far as I'm concerned. I don't see anything saying that he's out, man.
Yeah, I don't see nothing. Y'all tripping, man. Y'all really tripping. Y'all really fucked up our flow like that. God damn it. Go ahead, AJ.
Elekana and our guy Nascimento plus 109, 2-legger. I like it.
I like it,
bro. I'm feeling like we're on point.
Hey, Elekana and Nascimento. I sign off on that parlay as well. Let's fucking go. If you want to come meet your boy, we got Lights Out 28 going down in Long Beach on Saturday night. Hit your boy up if you're coming. DM me at Mike Finch MMA. AJ, I could get you cage side tickets if you want to skip this little Apex fight night and fly your ass out here. I got an extra bedroom over there, and I got you free tickets, and they're going to be good ones. Okay. So AJ's going to say no to that because he never misses a fucking card to come hang out with you guys. He says no. There it is. But just know that's a real offer. Pretty soon there's going to be a baby walking around here, bro. Then how am I supposed to have your ass over? You know what I mean? At least you don't smoke weed anymore.
I'll be honest, bro. I got a lot of little cousins. I'm nice to kids, bro.
Good, man. Good. I love kids. I really do.
Me too, man.
Kids make me really happy. You know, there's there's a video that I got sent for my birthday where my buddy's daughter sang me happy birthday. It was so sweet. It was so sweet. Where is she? Hope he's not mad at me for playing this. Hopefully not. Super freaking cute. If I don't find it in 3 seconds, we can move on. But I would like to see you guys. So if you guys want to come to Lights Out 28, that'll be going down at Thunder Studios in Long Beach. Sean Merriman, the San Diego Charger, is going to be there, and I'll
Happy birthday, dear Coach Mike. Happy birthday, dear Coach Mike. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, dear Coach Mike.
They're petty as hell.
too cute. So, yeah. I'm very happy to have a daughter. It's going to be fantastic.
Love it. Shout out to the people. We hope you guys enjoyed. Fucking tired, guys. Go check out the Finchman show. They already pinned it up in the live chat. Go watch the Finchman. All right. We'll see you guys soon. I'll be live for lunchtime tomorrow. And also in the evening, I'll have content, maybe even a video. So keep your eyes peeled on the channel. Love you all, and go watch the Finch. Peace out. Good night.